Welcome to the
sandals and shorts, and surf and scuba and sand and sailing and soccer. San Diego, California.
Season's greetings and a little bit of a throwback to Two Balls and a Mic, episode 247. 247 weeks in a row, bringing you the best San Diego soccer coverage in San Diego. My name is Tony Sanchez, along with Alejandro El Chiva Villaseñor. We have a jam-packed episode today and tonight. We're going to go ahead and start with some breaking news, actually, in terms of San Diego Punto Football and the upcoming days. But just to give everybody a heads up, we're going to go ahead and start with gold, caps, and greats today. We got a fresh batch today of that's going to lead us into some San Diego Wave talk. San Diego Wave losing the CONCACAF women's champion, the W Champions Cup against Club America, and are eliminated by KC Current from the NWSL. Season is pretty much done. Nightmare season is coming to an end. We're going to go ahead and talk some Call the Sirens, a little bit into that as well. And then we're also going to go ahead and go into our community segment, El Zarape de San Diego, talk with Urban Soccer to see what they're involved with and documenting street soccer here in San Diego. Local person doing local things. SD Inter will be having an Open Cup participation, local UPSL team with a chance to potentially be representative against Lionel Messi in a not too distant future. If that ends up happening, we're going to have some players on to talk about that. And here's the thing, the breaking news that we're actually definitely talking about. Breaking news, the first two inaugural away and home games for San Diego FC have been announced. LA Galaxy will be the first rival in San Diego FC history, along with the first home Snapdragon game for MLS in the city of San Diego against St. Louis, another recent expansion team. What this means, we have Durant Free over at the under 19s in Dinamarca. You have the Washer in the background doing its thing, saying, "Hi, I'm done. We are good, but we are here." Season's greetings to everybody who's joining us in the chat. We'll have the great and powerful Abraham Cepeda joining us as well. There is a lot. I'm glad people are here. I'm glad people are here tonight.
Oh, sí, ya los puse todos.
Thank you for going and stopping my family's washer.
Of course.
That was fantastic of you. A family show here. Thank you for saying that. It's a good day to be here. Good time. San Diego soccer arena will be utilized for Mexico versus U.S. game. I'll get into that later. Might have some involvement with that. But season's greetings to everybody. We have a tight schedule because we have a lot of people coming on, a lot of things to talk about. So,
and before we get started,
yes.
Tony, we do have another announcement as well. This has been long in the works, and way to mute me while I'm talking. We've been promising people that this was going to get started. Our first ever order of pre-orders for shirts, San Diego Punto Football shirts, is now open on our website, San Diego Punto Football. You can definitely check it out and check out on our website, going to this little link of the Cantina where you can pre-order our San Diego Punto Football shirt. Big shout out to Travis Peterson or Punk Rock Paint.
At Punk Rock Paint
has helped us out with the artwork,
Tremendous.
with everything. Big shout out to him as well. And big shout out to Drew as well, helping us out with all of this.
Nice.
So again, anything that has to do with shirt money goes directly into helping us kind of keep running the show, keep running the lights here in Tony's Garage. So all that goes towards that. And then also, if you purchase a shirt, we are doing a San Diego FC jersey giveaway.
Correct.
When they come out with one to all of our subscribers. They're all in the running for it on YouTube. But if you purchase a shirt, you get 10 extra entries.
Absolutely.
To that raffle. So again, we're trying our best to be able to be transparent with all of this. It's the first time we're really launching a shirt sale. So Tony and I are very new to this world, so we're excited for that.
Hey, we got good people around us, around a lot of people helping us out through these 4 years where To be completely honest, it's been an adventure of a lifetime. But things are ramping up in your life and my life. Again, I was your age when we started this. You were 4 years younger, which made you how old were you when you started this?
24 years ago, almost 5.
24. Okay.
About 21, 22.
So you were 20.
22.
I plucked you out of thin air and made you join this crazy venture.
So
that we
this is
call
what the
Sandiego
shirt
Football.
looks like for anyone.
Hey, ¿qué onda, güey?
Sí,
Hey, ¿qué onda? Oh,
that's our
hey.
San Diego Punto Football.
Whoa.
So
All right.
it's just a way to be able to help us out. And I mean, if you can, cool. If you can't, that's completely okay as well.
Absolutely.
And just to help us out a little bit.
And I know people have been asking for Patreon, asking for things throughout the years. Like, we'd love to do that. And I've always appreciated that. And I've been upfront about being appreciative about that. I just don't think we have the content that necessarily needs to be behind a paywall for now. I will say, though, that San Diego Punto Football has recently been in a joint venture, also in launching a brand new podcast series. Episode 2 came out this last Friday. So a lot of things happening with San Diego Punto Football, but you can go ahead and check out a Club Deportivo Movie Club, and that is the new podcast on San Diego Punto Football. You can find everything on San Diego Punto Football. It's essentially a movie club for soccer movies. And there you see the great powerful Cesar H. Football, Drew, Chiva, and myself. With the second episode, we watched the movie. We could say I showed it, right?
Rudo
y Cursi,
which is the first time I ever got to see that movie.
First time you ever got to see that. So
I've been saving it for sure for this. So yeah, it was very fun. Thank you, Drew and
Cesar
for inviting us to be on your second episode. And if you haven't checked it out, definitely check it out. Watch the movie and then check out the episode, or do both at the same time if you'd like. So very fun movie to watch, and I'm very glad I got to experience it.
Do me a favor and just drop that link to that shirt. Link to the website San Diego Punto Football in the comments. But all right, without further ado, let's go ahead and actually switch it up a little bit, because we do have a lot to get to. We do have I don't believe I've seen it anywhere, but we have head coach Mikey Varas, not an exclusive, but just hear his thoughts on the announcement that LA Galaxy will be the first opponent for SDFC in the 2025 inaugural season coming up, along with St. Louis. So you're going to hear directly from head coach Mikey Varas here in a little bit. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and start talking some San Diego Wave, because
actually, no, we got to go goals, gaffes, and greats real quick.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because it's kind of
cool.
it's kind of related, because I think what's been happening at Snapdragon, and I mean, I hope no ill will in Juju form towards any San Diego team in general, but oh man, what's been going on this last season? San Diego Wave is not good. But this person actually escaped in a lot of ways, which brings us to the first part of that. Not that one. Trust the boy.
Yeah.
With that, goals, gaffes, and greats, we're actually going to bring in our very own has his fan club actually in the chat. Hopefully they stayed to welcome, and if not, buy a shirt just to support Abe. Poor Abe. We welcome in the great and powerful editor-in-chief for San Diego Punto Football, Abraham Cepeda. Abe, hi.
How are you? I'm doing all right. It's been an interesting weekend covering Wave.
It's been an interesting weekend in soccer in San Diego. I think this is what we were like kind of preparing for this whole time. It's just like there's going to be a reality where there's almost too many lemons. Like have you ever seen that meme where the guys just can't handle lemons in his hands? He's like, what am I going to do with all these lemons? I'm talking, this is a 2011 meme, like original Know Your Meme. Anyway, this looks like we're back to back. There we go. All right, so Abe, we're gonna get into goals, gaffes, and greats. The first part being the goal of the week, and San Diego Wave fans should be familiar with one Abby Dahlkemper and her adventures through the NWSL, because she went back home and delivered a dagger at the end of the match.
Center back. Well, number 1
to go ahead and take Bay FC and just any glimmer
Abby
of hope that San Diego
Dahlkemper,
Wave had
the center
in
back.
potentially making
Well, number
playoffs would have
1.
been immediately thrown
towards
in
goal,
with a bucket of cold
and it's
water
in. Abby
with this goal
Dahlkemper,
from Abby
the
Dahlkemper.
center back.
Abraham,
Well, number 1.
What does this make you feel, if any sort of specific way? Any thoughts on this goal?
I think
You came up with this like, okay.
I mean, it was either this or Taylor Flint's header, which also was another great goal. And it would be great if the Wave had a player that could score when, you're having these set piece opportunities and you need someone other than Kristen McNabb to score.
Yeah.
I mean, Kristen McNabb kind of took Abby Dahlkemper's place here, but it's just brutal for the Wave. Like all the wrong decisions at every level, letting players like this go, and effectively send Bay FC into the playoffs while the Wave are in 13th place.
It's a quadruple whammy on what was already a season that didn't need any more help being terrible. Like that's for sure. This was the season with opportunity for San Diego Wave to wait for sibling club San Diego FC and have success be bequeathed upon Snapdragon.
Are they siblings? They seem like just like neighbors that don't really like each other.
No, well, they're not neighbors because they live in the same place. Is it like stepbrothers?
Yeah, that's probably closer. Step family.
Yeah, step family.
They kind of had to get married. And it's like, I was already here. You're coming to my house. I already have to deal with my big brother SDSU over here.
That's Papi SDSU. That's almighty SDSU. Like it's absolutely genderless in it. So it's just the almighty SDSU. And shout out. I think we've been a Snapdragon enough to earn a provisional degree at this point. Anyway, so that's the goal for the week. Let's go ahead and move it into the next part, which is the gaff. If you're new here, again, we highlight a goal, gaff, and a great of the week. Goal being Abby Dahlkemper there. However, there is a gaff for this week, and I think I selected this one for a couple of reasons. However, this is the world that you're kind of getting into.
Sorry, Tanya's got the jokes. We are in 13th place in honor of Alex. I love that. That is great.
And you're gonna enjoy the following San Diego Wave coverage that we'll have. We will have Call the Sirens here up in a bit. Dave joining him, but the gaff of the week, FIFA. ¿Qué están haciendo? What are we doing here? Not really helping our case, but let's see. Infantino decided, in his infinite wisdom, to announce that Inter Miami will be invited to the Club World Cup for winning the Supporter Shield.
Oh shit!
People are not happy.
And the comment is, this is a gift to Messi, because FIFA has a history of just being a very big Messi fan, because Messi is arguably, if not the greatest player that ever lived. So it's understandable as to why they're doing this. You're bringing Messi back into like a worldwide competition. It's the first time that they're having the Club World Cup be 32 teams, the way that there's going to roll out this summer or next summer, I mean. But so, I mean, it makes sense. It checks the boxes. I know, Tony, you're a very big fan of people checking boxes, and that's exactly what this is with Messi.
No, 100%. What does this give you a feel for the MLS now having another representative in a illustrious Club World Cup here in the U.S.?
Yeah, so technically they're the host country representative, but the Seattle Sounders also are in it for winning the CONCACAF tournament. I mean, to me, it seems like playoffs don't matter. All right, we don't care about playoffs. America, you need to stop caring about playoffs. We care about the Shield.
Right?
Oh my gosh.
Playoffs don't matter. Casey Stoney was right. Playoffs don't matter. We were the champions. We won the league.
I mean, they did on paper.
Inter Miami won the league. We're going to wait until they for sure win the league before we announce it. But yeah, they won the league. They should go to Club World Cup. Yeah. I mean, it's obvious. Like, they're doing it for Inter Miami and stuff. And I doubt Inter Miami is going to play well in this tournament either. It's kind of a insane lineup of different teams. Like, Chelsea made it from winning the Champions League in 2021, which is crazy. Like, that team had so many different players. Pulisic was on that. Like, that's insane.
Yeah. And again, this is kind of giving a taste of the the nefarious hand that's always kind of in the beautiful game. And you ever play Super Smash Brothers?
Yep.
You know that hand? Just that's exactly what I picture sometimes. These dark forces that influence soccer just being physicalized in. That's not a word. But in any case, I consider that to be just a gaff. There are on field.
For sure.
No me gusta.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like it when this is how I like justice. Because if I ever have to put a person ahead on a wait list for the after school care that we do, I would look down upon that, because there's laws and there's rules for that. Just in the same way that I'm upset at that, there's laws and rules that say, hey, you're not supposed to do this, but ultimately this is how we do things. We don't care. We're just going to move forward. Oh yeah, no. Oh, Abe has a handy dandy notebook. Too. That's.
And he also has a fan club.
Does Abe need his own shirt? Is this just like a wrestling?
Are we making an Abe shirt
company?
Soon?
Like
Abe shirts.
Abe, do you license your face?
Just Abe.
I have to give that license. You're putting me on the spot here.
No, I mean, we never talked about it. This is how we do things, right?
All right.
So it is the first day I get to eat food.
It'd be pretty funny if I just like a big
celebrate.
on the front of the shirt.
It's a day to celebrate. No, we're Abe shirt coming soon, everyone.
Abe shirt.
To move on with our great of the week.
For the great of the week is going to be security at Snapdragon for effectively neutralizing a fan pitch invader. Had to be an America fan.
Had to be an America fan. Of course, it had to be an America fan. Bueno, pues, great security, but also big shout out to Alejandro Guido, who unfortunately finished his last game in his playing career. Not the way he wanted to go. Obviously, losing in playoffs in the MLS Next, but shout out to Alejandro Guido on an amazing career. With Cholos, with San Diego Loyal, with LA Galaxy. Or was it LAFC, I think, instead of Galaxy. But yeah, shout out to Alejandro Guido. Just a great player overall. San Diego native, Chula Vista native.
Playing career over for Alejandro Guido. I know he's always been a very mental player. Just from what we've gathered throughout the years, is that he actually keeps notebooks.
Guido
just
checks off everything.
Tactics with him, and
guys love
much
him.
like a handy dandy notebook that Abe has. Guido has handy. He's just constantly learning and writing. So I'm excited to see what the future holds for him. So shout out Alejandro Guido. Congratulations on a great career. He is the great of the week. All right. So moving on, we kind of talked about it a little bit here, Abe, but I think, there's some things that we need to just address, discuss, more the same of San Diego Wave before we get to the call of sirens here. But let's get into some San Diego Wave. I was saying this is the first day that I'm actually eating food, solid food. I haven't really eaten food the whole day without having a meal replacement. For those of you that are keeping score at home, that's what it was. Not sick. In any case, energy is something that San Diego Wave has not been full of in terms of happiness and joy and the things that make people feel good. If you're a San Diego Wave supporter, but this is actually, I'm going ahead of time, because as you saw, the Espontáneo, the man running, which, by the way, according to our great and powerful friend, David Furker, it was not the first invader. It was the first wave pitch invader. It's the first time ever there was two people to get Alex, but that was post game. The last pitch invader was the first Man U game 2 years ago. Exclusive, David Furker, on that information. Shout out to you. But Abe, first we got to start with CONCACAF, the tournament that gave San Diego Wave some hope, a glimmer of hope that this season was not all lost. Landon Donovan coming in, being ready to take this team potentially into a playoff berth, a semifinal. In soccer, you know what? So they made a semifinal, right? Even though that's the first round of playoffs, but whatever. We're not. Who's counting? this was it. This was a chance in the weekday. San Diego Wave faced off against Club America in a CONCACAF tournament that was favorable for San Diego Wave, except for outside circumstances that kind of put this game underneath on razor's edge. Abe.
Yeah, I'm not sure what outside circumstances you're talking about.
It's the results of the other game.
Oh, the
Yeah,
Houston game where they lost 2-0, and both Chiva and I said they're gonna lose this next game too because they looked very bad, and Tony completely disagreed with us for some reason.
dude.
Yeah, you did.
I'm usually a very negative person, but I've been positive about Wave for some strange reason.
Yeah, for some
strange reason.
This was a kind of like all in or nothing now to save the season in a way, right? Where you have to either tie or win versus America to finish top. It was so weird the way the table ended, because if San Diego Wave, there was either them winning the group or third place and not qualifying. There was no chance of going in second based off goal differential. So it was either tying or beating America, or if you lose, you're out. Hey.
Yeah, and it's a huge opportunity, and I thought that like after the first like 20 minutes, like, hey, you never know, anything can happen. It's a one game playoff. They were playing it like it was like a championship final type of game. Like Kalen Sheridan getting that red card is the type of decision that a player makes when you know you're going to have like one last opportunity. You need to try and score here, or try and stop them from scoring. And America was just too good on all levels.
Yeah, no, America was playing at a different pace from the get-go. But again, you just needed to hold off. You just needed to hold off, play well. In the beginning stages of the game, you see here Kalen Sheridan not necessarily having the best footing. And I think overall this season, I can confidently say that it has not been the best Kalen Sheridan season. There's been a lot of mistakes on her part on the ball with her leg, with her feet, but just some decision making sometimes this season. It just, I think we can agree, or I'll agree with myself here, but I don't think we've seen the best Kalen Sheridan this season, much less the rest of the team. But I don't know what you guys think about that, but essentially another decision by Kalen. What was she supposed to do? I get it. I get it.
So that's the struggle with the style that Landon wanted to implement.
Yeah, 100%.
Right, where it's kind of like we call it with San Diego Loyal. You either live by the Nate ball or Miller ball, and you die by Miller ball, and which is essentially the same style.
Loyal ball, yeah.
Loyal ball, yeah. So with the goalkeeper essentially being a third center back, the lines are going to be high up, and America ends up sending a long ball, and Sheridan is a little late to come out and ends up fouling. And obviously, that's an immediate red card.
Yep.
Last player, there was no doubt about it. This was either you do it and you're a hero, or you let them score and then you try to catch up.
I mean, I get it. I get the decision to do it, but at the same time, you have to kind of manage the clock in your mind too. You're going to leave your team for the rest of the game with one less player, and it's only one goal. And I know the situation where it's like, well, you're asking one goal from a team that has
struggles in
20
scoring.
goals. I mean, just overall in the season, and NWSL, but like in general, like it's this hard decision that Sheridan made, period. From then on, it's like, okay, well, this game is over, right? Like this game is over. No ifs, ands, or buts. She does, if for whatever reason San Diego Wave moves on, Sheridan's a hero.
And here's the thing, right? But we were all talking about it. By halftime, it was still 0-0. And we all mentioned, you know what? Even when we predicted this game, we thought literally at halftime it would be at least 1 or 2-0 America. Like they would have a lead already. To say Wave held on to that, not getting scored on with 10 players the rest of the first half, and then most of the second half as well. It almost seems like, oh man, like that's impressive alone against Club America. You almost had chances. You almost scored.
Maria Sanchez over here with an opportunity. Pearl Maroney, who, I mean, later on she becomes a focal point of the game too. But Abe, there was a chance, and they were playing well. They were playing well with one less person.
Yeah, and Maroney, I think, especially looked really good in this match. She was just fast and providing problems all around. And then if we want to talk about that last foul, not a foul, play at the top of the box. Like, in the moment, I was telling you guys I didn't think it was a foul, but you guys saw the replay. You guys thought it was a foul. I still think it was embellished a little bit there at the end, which is why the referee didn't call it. But it's just such a hard time, especially without VAR.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was a tough call for sure. And I mean, it was very close on the replay. You could kind of see there was some contact, but at the end of the day, Tony, was it a weird bounce for that goal for America? We kind of played through it already, but it was a play, it was a header. It bounced right before for Hillary Beale. Is that due to the pitch? Tony?
So I actually got some insider information from that game because after there's that the mix zone, right? And so interesting here and footage. We do have Naomi Girma after we spoke to her and said, hey, like, what's the message from Landon? At that moment, Landon had not spoken to the team, so which is an interesting note. But just what you're mentioning, right? Like, was there a divot? Was there something that didn't allow for a clean just collection? Because I mean, yeah, it's a difficult header in any direction, but I do have hit on picture confirmation that the trajectory of the bounce of the pitch influenced 100% how that ball was approached, and ultimately, it gets bobbled, have more secure hands. That's why you put your body and chest to it, right? You have more area as a goalkeeper. If you're just putting your hands here, the margin of error is just so much greater. So you put your body into it. So if it goes through your hands, at least you still have it here. That didn't happen. She wasn't able to react, but for sure that was the pitch. Like that was the pitch.
But you shouldn't even be putting Hillary Beale in this position. They should have scored. They had so many chances to score, and you're playing at home. And we saw before the game they weren't even practicing at the goals because of how messed up the pitch was. They set up goals on the side of the pitch to warm up because of how bad they were, just pitch-wise. Which is very difficult for all these players to deal with.
It's a reality of things. And right now, again, you're just trying to think long term. I see people already kind of getting into the SDFC talk. We're going to get into SDFC, hear from head coach Mike Yavaras on the announcement of the first two inaugural home games and home and away games. But there's not another team playing here. So just get used to the more, grass talk at the end of the day. It's like that's the reality that having two professional soccer teams be housed in the same place where a rugby team plays, a football team plays, one of which has priority over everybody. So it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks at the end of the day, unless you can airlift one of those beautiful fields over a game by game, and it's not going to happen. I think you had a cool stat. We'll get to it about the turnover of this field when it comes to in relation to the home game for SDFC against St. Louis, right? So we'll get to that a little bit later. So, yeah, I mean, there's not a lot you can do in a situation from bad to worse. After the match, Landon Donovan was seen and pictured and viewed from a press box immediately walking towards the center field. I followed him just visually, my binoculars, and he just he looked not well. Like he just looked sad. And for whatever reason that may have been, he was there for a long time. I did notice that there wasn't a lot of discussion or dialogue with any of the actual players. A couple of assistants came up, giving a little pat in the back, and he just kind of sat, squatted, and was pensive. From then he would be led into the press area, and it's a little bit different because you hear from the America coach first, right?
We heard from the America coach first. Obviously the importance in tournaments like this where you get to play high level teams. And then when Landon comes in, obviously the whole vibe of it just kind of changes. That you can sense the sadness. He did confirm he had not spoken to any of the players. And then later on, we got confirmation from Naomi Girma that he didn't address the players at all that night. So, I mean, a lot of the question was also asked, like, hey, does this worry you where this was the game to continue on a job? So he did say he wasn't worried about that. He said what he was upset about was just not winning this game. So I don't know what you guys took away from the press conference, but before this game, we were kind of pretty sure that he would stay on as the head coach next season. And then after this, it's kind of like, oh, I don't know if that's a right assumption or prediction to make now.
Yeah, that kind of reaction is not something I think I've seen from a coach as far as just home coaches. Like, even when they got knocked out of the playoffs and stuff like that, coaches tend to just like push it all down and then let that reaction happen later. At least that's from what I've seen. Even when the Loyal died, I think people kind of held themselves together. But it was just tough to see. And it's tough to be in Landon Donovan's position, honestly. Just coming over, completely changing the style of the team away from kind of one of its strengths to one of its weaknesses on the offense, and it kind of hasn't worked. Like, at times it's looked really good. There was that one game against Washington where they got a draw where you're like, whoa, are they gonna win? Are they gonna make a run? Are they gonna make the playoffs? And then you just see kind of the exact opposite.
And you see, that's where I'm like, I don't feel bad. Obviously, I feel for him. I mean, you know how passionate he is about this, but he knows what he got himself into. He knew San Diego Wave was kind of a sinking ship at the moment, and he threw his hat in there to try to fix as much as he could. And he did say it takes time to make a change. So I think Landon really just obviously knew the expectation was try to make playoffs, try to win this tournament. And if not, okay, it's cool. Like the season was pretty much over way back then. So overall, I think Landon is still probably the best option for this team moving forward next season. So I know, Tony, you had something to say. You don't know. I do think it's the best option.
I don't know. I mean, it's the easy option. It's the easy option for sure.
It's not easy.
No,
it's not as easy as you may think.
No. It's easy.
That style of play is hard to implement in the NWSL.
I don't. That's not what I'm talking about, though. Like, you have somebody who's clearly more offensively minded. They tried to jumpstart in a complicated system, but ultimately it failed. Right now, right? It's a long-term project, but you can't also not look at the defensive side where, because they were more offensive, they didn't know how to manage the defense at all. And that's not something for Landon to really care about, because he doesn't know how to coach that side of the ball. He really doesn't. How is it that Naomi Groma was still playing, Kaylin Sheridan was still playing? Like, the defensive front suffered too much in that. And I don't know if it's the best, because, again, you're doing a worldwide search. Let me just back everybody up to that, right? Like, this is a worldwide search for a new head coach. It'd be interesting to see what the reasoning would be to keep Landon. First of all, does he deserve to kind of stick around? Okay, sure, I'll give him that benefit of the doubt. But I in my ignorance don't know more than just say, hey, let's get ¿cómo se llama? Oh my gosh. She was the interim before Emma Hayes.
Twyla Kilgore.
Like, literally, like that. That's if we're talking about names, like, okay, sure. Talking about somebody who's very positive and is received well on a lot of ends. Twyla Kilgore, like, has managed Jaden Shaw, has given a chance.
That was Jaden Shaw's best tournament. It
was her best tournament. But again, what I'm trying to say is that outside of maybe the name Twyla and knowing her and in her work in a short term, and then Landon, like, I don't know who else is out there. So I'll just leave that speculation to myself. Whatever happens is not the decision of Ron Burkle anymore. He's no longer going to be involved in that, because San Diego Wave has new ownership coming in under new management. Bring the banner down.
And before we even dive in a little bit more on that, San Diego Wave pretty much finished off their season on the road against Kansas City, where they lost 4-1, and it was not pretty at all. And this completely eliminates them from playoff contention. Abe, you were part of the press conference after. Just what were the words that you heard from Landon? I know we have video of it.
If you want me, I can let it roll. It's up to you. Like, but I mean, I'm looking at the silent footage, man. Look, it's rough.
It was rough. It was a good game if you're a Kansas City fan. Like that team, that offense, they might be my playoff pick to win the whole thing because Temwa Chewinga is a beast. That was so cool. But if you're watching on the Wave perspective, just completely destroyed, completely outclassed, look like you don't belong. This is the kind of game that the Wave should have had against like Vancouver. Like you need to score more goals, kind of like this. This is what Donovan and a lot of these coaches wish they were. But yeah, it was tough. If you want to play it, you can play it.
Tanya in the chat, Gustafsson.
Former Australia
Yes.
head coach has
Yes.
ties to Emily Van Egmond, Caitlin Torpy.
Correct. And I think I think I can let this one. That was a conversation. And I'm not sure if that's a direction where it was going. But my sources had let me know that that was a direction that San Diego Wave had looked at. The timetable between Paul Buckle, Landon Donovan, and the potential success of Landon Donovan kind of just put that on ice. But that was a name being thrown out there at some point. It'd be interesting to see if new ownership again moves in that direction, has a plan with that. So Landon is, I mean, and let me just say too, I empathize with Landon, but much like you're saying, Chiva, he knew what he was getting himself into.
Yeah.
I empathize more with the players. The players are the ones that have been there. The players are the ones that have been there throughout. They've gone through these games too, and they've seen 3 different managers come in and come out. Maybe like
And some players left. That's another thing too. Like
you know what?
Sierra
Some
Engie decided to leave. Abby
Yep.
Dahlkemper decided to leave. Sophia
Yep.
Jakobsen decided
Yep.
to leave. Alex Morgan didn't really decide, but she kind of had to leave, and that has an impact on it too. And it's just really tough. But yeah, he did know what he was getting himself into.
Let's see what Landon has to say here.
What's next for as far as this next 2 weeks go, and how you plan on keeping the team motivated for this next match?
They'll be motivated. A lot of the women go away now for international duty, so that's probably a good break for them right now to just mentally get away. We'll have some training sessions with the players who are back, but we'll keep it light. It's been a really hard year for them, Abraham. Like they've been through a lot, and so having a weekend without a game is probably good right now. Just focus on getting better individually and then collectively, and then once the players are back from international duty, we'll see where everyone's at. But it's our last home game. It's the last time Alex is officially part of the team, and so everyone will be excited. Should be a good crowd, and it'll be exciting and emotionally fine for them. Hopefully we can end the year on a good note during a year that's been really tough for them.
And your career, have you ever gone under a season like this? And what from that experience would you tell to these players?
I mean, on the field, yeah, but the challenges is off the field, everything they've gone through, I've never experienced. So to have 3 coaches in a year, I never experienced. To deal with, the stop and start of the season through the Summer Cup, players gone for the Olympics, having multiple 3-game weeks in the space of a month or 2, all the injuries they've been through. I've never seen anything like that. So I can't empathize completely in that way. I have had hard years, and I had about 15 minutes at the end of the game today to just sit down and speak with Mackenzie about the year. And, when it's raw and it's emotional, you kind of get, the honest feelings come out. And so it's learning what happened this year, why it went wrong, and then helping them for the future. As players and as a collective, how do you get out of this? And, that's hard because you get really used to losing and it becomes a habit too. So how do you break that and start next year fresh so that you can just push this to the past and move on?
Yeah,
I can empathize a little bit. When I was in 3rd grade, my class was so bad behavior-wise that we had 3 teachers in one school year. And this was in my Catholic school in TJ, Instituto Estrella del Mar.
Oh my goodness.
We had 3 different teachers.
I don't think the kids, or in this case, professional soccer players, are the issue per se.
I'm just saying I can empathize. I know what it's like to go through.
Jeez.
Just ruining these poor teachers' lives.
What were you
It
doing?
wasn't me.
You were
I was a
okay,
great
see,
student.
no, that's
I
how
was
you
a
know
de
what
great
to
Dios.
do.
student. It wasn't me.
Geez. But in any case, that's
I feel
the
you,
general
Wave
feeling
players.
of everything. I mean, good point. Having a week without a game would be good for us too. I'm not gonna lie, like us too. That actually helped. It benefited us in getting some rest here in the near future. But Lana did mention there are internationally capped players per San Diego Wave. Usual suspects in that case.
I'm surprised Jaden Shaw got called up.
Jaden
Not
Shaw.
gonna lie.
Yep, Jaden Shaw. Excuse me.
And we'll be wrapping up shortly to have our Call of the Siren segment.
Absolutely.
As well.
So, yeah, last one is Gurma, Shaw, Sheridan, Lundqvist, Maria Sanchez, Cascarino, Carusa, Torpy, and Emily Van Egmond. So
That
was
joins Melanie Barcenas and Escanio at the World Cup right now.
correct. So that is what we have here for the San Diego Wave. Abraham, thank you. You can check out Abraham's fantastic and stellar work over on San Diego.Football. Let me tell you, this is the website that is it's growing, guys. I really appreciate everybody who's supporting, but you can check out everything that Abe writes as editor-in-chief over on San Diego.Football/stories. San Diego.Football/stories. Abe, you're phenomenal. We'll see you here in a bit.
And this is what we had for San Diego Wave.
An interesting wrinkle that we've added this season for San Diego Wave is having a segment to call the Sirens, where we have a member of the Sirens over at the Cove join us and kind of give their perspective, put out into the universe anything that they want to promote. But today is no different. You got it ready?
Yep.
Yeah, you already got it ready. So this is going to be this edition of Call of the Sirens.
Hello. It's frozen. Hey.
Hey Dave, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
I think Tony and Chiva froze, but I think I can help take over with this interview. Can you just talk to us a little bit about how you got started with the Sirens? What got you into the Cove?
Yeah, for sure. So I was an original Siren starting in 2022. Basically joined because some of my soccer friends were started off with the Sirens, and thought it was good to go. We'd been loyal season ticket holders too, and showed up to watch the Wave at Torero. And then after the 2023 season, they sucked me into joining as an officer for, and I run the tailgate, and that's super fun.
Okay, so what goes into running the tailgate? Has that been something that you've been doing your whole life with other sports, or what's different about the San Diego Wave?
No, I'm actually pretty new to that. I mean, there's a lot of just organizing a bunch of volunteers, you know. So these days for our big games, we're getting between 100 and 150 people show up, and then quiet days we get about 40. I mean, large part of it is building a relationship with security and Ace parking people at Snapdragon, and knowing exactly where their red lines are and things like that.
All right. And do you have like a favorite tailgate game that you remember, or special moment that's happened this year?
Let's see. The one of our biggest tailgates we had, we did a sandwich competition for the potluck, and so we had all the members just bring a everyone brought a bunch of sandwiches and we judged it. And then we had there was an Australian press crew who showed up, and they were just baffled by the concept of tailgating, as like an American tradition. And then basically they wanted to get footage of themselves, and basically they had the host just eat a whole bunch of sandwiches, and it was pretty funny because he was very, kind of put out by the whole thing, but it was good.
That's awesome. What was your favorite sandwich?
There was a banh mi that was just killer. I loved it.
Oh, I love banh mi. Okay.
Hey.
I think Tony and Chiva are here.
Yeah, we're
No,
back.
we're
We're
back.
back. Thank you
No,
so much, A, for
honestly, it
saving
was
the day
it was
here.
the Dave show for a little bit. Like Dave, you were it, and then I don't know when Abe came in, but thank you, gentlemen, for coming in, and really appreciate you, Abe, for that. You good there? We're good. Cool. All right. I mean, if you want to stick around, I mean,
Yeah, go ahead.
it's
stick
your
around.
show
the
too,
Abe
Abe.
show already.
Get a raise. Somebody says in the comments. We'll buy some of our shirts, and we'll give Abe, his nickel or two, with some bazooka bubblegum. Dave, thank you once again for joining. But what are your just overall, thoughts with what's been happening the last couple of days with your team, the San Diego Wave? You okay with the direction if Landon kind of continues? Will you cheer just as hard as you did once for Casey Stoney?
Oh, for sure. I mean, we're gonna cheer for the team no matter what. I mean, we absolutely love them. We're here for good times, for bad. I mean, we were spoiled by the first 2 seasons, honestly. Like, this was the season we all expected to have in 2022, and we kept telling ourselves, like, this can't last forever. This can't last forever, but didn't expect it to happen this soon. But no, we're gonna cheer no matter what. Personally, I don't love Landon Ball. I don't think it's a good fit for the Wave, but it's my biggest complaint is I think he's putting too many miles on Naomi Germa's legs compared to what she was doing before, and I don't like it. But otherwise, we're going to be here shouting our heads off for sure.
I love that. I mean, obviously, just want to talk about the emotions, right, that go behind just being eliminated from playoffs already. It's kind of like what people saw coming in a way, but there was still that little bit of sliver of hope there. What was it like just watching that last game back?
Oh man, this one at Kansas City.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
I mean, that one, the Kansas City was pretty early on. They scored very fast, and we were like, okay, all we have left now is keeping Shawinga from scoring on us, and that didn't hold up forever either. So it's what it is. It's wild, right? Because with so much success we had, and it's like emotionally, it's it would have sucked a lot worse if we'd been this bad the whole time. I at least know that there's scope for us to get better again, and especially with all the talent we have on the field and everything, it's just a matter of time and getting our stuff back together. So it's a bummer that they didn't have a better season, but it's not like it's the end of the world or anything.
100%. No, I definitely agree. And I mean, going back to the last game at Snapdragon against Club America, right? Obviously, a lot of excitement behind it. You just need a point to go into the semifinal for that tournament. The Sirens seem to also have some competition on the opposite side of the field with a lot of America supporters there as well. How was that like?
Oh, the America supporters were fine. We've hosted them a couple times now and haven't had any problems with them. Folks had told us to be worried, but they were solid both times. Clearly, their San Diego community is a bunch of upstanding citizens, and we had no problems with them. I mean, honestly, there's several Sirens who rock with them too, and it's good.
That's
we love their energy.
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing about it, right? Like, there was now something where there wasn't before. So of course, you might be an America fan where now you're kind of like, what happens if they meet in a tournament to play? Like all the Cholos fans that are potentially SDFC fans, or in a lot of ways, San Diego Wave with anybody else. Maybe I know a lot of people who actually had their NWSL teams. I know somebody who was a very big Portland fan. They were like, oh, all right, I guess I'm a Portland Thorns fan as well. But Dave, we're talking about tailgating a little bit with Abe. The final tailgate. That sounds dramatic. the final tailgate. Oh, we're calling people out, Tanya. Okay.
Yeah.
People are getting.
Tanya just
Well, we were at the tailgate for that match, and we were all down at the tailgate for the Club America match. And we're right below the ramp from the yellow lot, and we look up and we see a whole bunch of Club America supporters walking up the ramp, and Jocelyn in her Wave jersey in the middle of them, and she hadn't even stopped by our tailgate. And we're all just look up there, we're like, "What is going on?"
Just like when Mufasa gets swept away by the stampede, and he's just like, where are you going? Do you need help? And they're like, oh, I'm okay.
She's like, I don't know you.
Not today. But yeah, so final tailgate happening, and it's going to be the home match at Snapdragon. It's going to kind of wrap everything up. Any recommendations in any just kind of, it'll be an emotional day for a lot of people. Some I know players, especially with free agency already, that's been open, and so that's going to come out to the surface, just kind of the negotiations, how that happens. But for the Sirens, what can people expect, and can they join if they happen to be at Snapdragon?
Oh, for sure. Anybody who's at Snapdragon is very welcome to come swing by our tailgate. We love having people over. We're in the yellow lot, which is on the left-hand side of when you're walking from the trolley station to the stadium, down in the paved lot there, right in the northeast corner. We have lots of flags and stuff. You can't miss us. And everybody come by. We'll have food. We'll have drinks. Come hang out, meet people, maybe join if you want. If not, we'd still love to have you. Honestly, the Wave fans is such a great community. Even and in NWSL, a big thing is even away supporters are genuinely fantastic, and we have folks from the other teams swing by quite regularly, and it's just super fun. One thing to keep in mind exactly right there. Yeah. Perfect. One thing to keep in mind for this match, though, is it's fan appreciation, and they're giving away the baseball jerseys. So there's 15K jerseys going out, and kickoff's at 2:30. That means the stadium's going to open around 1:00.
Yeah.
And we're expecting probably like maybe 20K plus people. They're opening the upper bowl for this match. So best guess is, like, if you're walking into the stadium before 1:30, you're going to get a jersey, a baseball jersey, if you care about it. But, I wouldn't sleep on it. Late and time between.
Sometimes I can't tell if it's us. I didn't pay the internet.
I think Tony didn't pay the internet, so I don't know if it's you they cutting off a little. But yeah, nonetheless, if you're going to be going to this match, get there a little earlier. Get yourself a
sunscreen
jersey as well. And Dave, before we let you go, one last thing that I am curious about. Normally, when there's a pitch invader, a lot of fans end up cheering for the pitch invader. I am curious for the Sirens. Is this a come on, what are you doing? Don't do that type of situation?
I thought Tanya was going to get in there and just like, all right, this is sacred ground.
I thought Tanya would go in and tackle that person.
Slide tackle too.
I mean, during the match is just ridiculous, right? I mean, it was when we had momentum and it was a stop ball, and that was clearly a calculated pitch invasion to affect gameplay, and that was kind of bullshit.
America fans, am I right? Oh man. All upstanding citizens. Quote Dave on that one. That was the most exciting part of the game for Tanya. She was sick that day. Apologies. I mean, there was a lot of people that were sickened by what they saw as well. This whole season has been a learning experience, hopefully, and I think it's time for healing, Dave. I think it's time for healing.
It's gonna be a long off season.
Off season will be fine here. Speaking of the off season, that's the name of the new reality TV show where Maria Sanchez is featured.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the outtake where they were in the elevator talking about peeing their pants while they play?
Yes, I saw that too.
Abe, please. Here,
I think it happens to a lot of professional players, the way they talk about just a little tinkle, like maybe that tiny little tinkle that comes out. I will be honest, that has happened to me before in a sport where I'm running maybe a little too hard, take an impact a little too much. That tiny little tinkle, it happens sometimes. Does that happen to you, Dave? Or?
Nah. Well, I don't know.
You can't have
The more the assertion that every single slide tackle she just completely lets go was kind of the impression I got. That was kind of like pretty wild.
Have you ever peed yourself playing, Tony?
No,
Oh, I
no,
mean,
I have never. I
Abe, HR is gonna
don't
give
think
an
I
email about
tossed.
this
Yeah,
just to
no,
let you
just
know.
yeah, just to give you a heads up.
Not okay in the workplace. Abe.
That's why you I don't know, eat more sodium, keep it in. Like I don't know, like that's.
I mean,
All
you
right,
drink
all
water during the game, and sometimes like things happen. You're throwing yourself around. Like it's tough. There's
different.
not usually like a bathroom right next to the field too, especially going up.
As a goalkeeper though, like you just kind of you're locked in for the whole game because you have gloves on. Like you don't. I try not to take them off until the aftermatch. This took a turn.
Yeah, it did.
The off season with
Yeah.
Maria Sanchez. There was, and that's the thing. The Sirens keep supporting. Like that's the one thing that I will
100%.
give the supporter group in the Cove is that they are representing, and San Diego Wave themselves may not have taken the opportunity to make the most out of this season as their sole tenants of Snapdragon, but the Sirens I think for sure did. So I just want to give a congratulations to the Sirens, Bubble Machines, more please. Like I'm shocked security just allows that level of technology to not be welcomed with pepper spray and force. In any case, Dave, anything else before I let you go?
Yeah, I just want to repeat. Other folks have said it before, but as SDFC gets going next year, if any of the supporters groups there are interested in just talking to any of us in leadership about our experiences working with Snapdragon and the facility and the staff there, we're 100% happy to talk to you guys and let you know what we've experienced there. So any of y'all are welcome to talk to me if you want to learn about which parking guys are cool.
That's actually
awesome.
see, it's little tips and tricks like that it's going to make the experience as enjoyable as can possibly be. It's not going to be Torero. You're not going to be able to get away with the same things you did at Torero Stadium, like for sure. But you can still have fun within the lines, like push the boundaries and have fun with it. Dave, thank you once again. The Sirens have been doing a phenomenal job. We hope to see everybody very soon. We'll be out there for the final game. Get your baseball jersey, get your SPF on, get your hydration on. Dave, thank you once again for joining us. We appreciate you.
Awesome. Thank you for having us. And I love that animation you got for this segment.
Yeah, you got it. Appreciate it. That
Thank
has
you.
been the Call of Sirens. You got it. He hates that animation. Just saying.
Abe does. Abe
Abe
just
legitimately
Abe
he
likes to hate
saw
on
it.
you.
No, he legitimately saw it the first time.
Do you
He's
see
like,
Abe as another little brother now?
I don't know.
Like
Actually,
a little cousin, younger cousin, maybe?
I don't think it.
Because I see Abe a little bit like a little brother.
See, here's the thing. I don't have any male. I mean, I have one male cousin. He's probably watching. He's like, "Hey, qué pedo, güey."
Oh, Abe es como un sobrino.
Chiva and I do have a lot in common. It is.
Yeah, you
it
guys are-
surprised me. In our carpools, we've learned a lot about each other.
Yeah, we do.
And I think like that's
We
fine.
hold hands,
I think
too.
you guys are friends more, which is great. I love it. But
We're all colleagues. We all work together. We're not.
We're
friends.
just more human than you, Tony. That's just what it
what are you
is.
talking about? I'm the most human. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and move it on into
El Zarape
El Zarape de San Diego.
Real quick, just
yes.
Wave sold the team officially to
Yes,
the
they did.
Lion Leichman family. That's all we kind of know about it. They said in their press release they're planning on building a training facility, and they have a group of San Diego-based investors that are also involved in it. So soon we might hear what they think about the Wave, the future of the Wave, and who's a part of that ownership group. I know we might know some things. I don't know if we're allowed to say, but it's interesting.
No, absolutely.
Big changes are coming.
There are things happening at San Diego Wave for the upcoming season that are going to be,
Oh man,
new.
Boy,
I mean, again,
boy, do they need changes.
it is a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
Hopefully, a benevolent breath of fresh air
I agree.
to take over. And again, with that, I just wanted to stack on real quickly. There was a statement from the Sirens about the just what's been coming out about the trial, the I won't say how much
Lawsuit?
Two lawsuits. Yeah.
two lawsuits now that are in place. So if you want to go ahead and find out what the Sirens officially have to say on that, you can follow them on Instagram or Twitter, or any of their social medias. If you want to go ahead and do that. It's just been a tough year for San Diego Wave.
It has been.
In general.
San Diego sports in general.
San Diego sports is rough. Let me tell you, it is rough. Welcome, welcome San Diego Wave. Welcome San Diego FC. We'll see. I don't know. Like,
we'll see
you
what
know
happens
what?
with MLS,
Like,
and we're gonna get to talk about it after a couple more segments. But right now, we are gonna be moving into El Zarape, San Diego. We have Eric Lyons joining us, as we have Urban Football joining us. Abe, thank you so much, and we're moving into El Zarape de San Diego.
you know what? And here we are. And here we are.
And here we are again.
Hey, it happens. It's one of these things. It happens. We want to make sure that we're getting our guests logged into correctly. Let's see here. What a job by Abe also. Just
Abe
to
has been
step
just
on
killing it.
in. Our internet went down.
It's been a wild episode so far.
It's been a wild episode. We launched our shirts. Throw that up again. Throw that up again, because
100%.
it's pretty cool. What we have in store. Yeah. Over here setting voice messages.
Just confirming a couple things, but yeah, our t-shirts are live for pre-sales again. You're welcome to again, all shirts contributions go directly into helping us
And probably
keep the
Abe.
show running, and Abe as well.
You like
So,
Abe?
and it gives you 10 extra entries to our San Diego FC jersey giveaway. So definitely, if you can, we appreciate it. If you can't, we completely understand. But yeah, definitely check out our website, sandiego.futbol/cantina, to be able to purchase or pre-order one of these awesome shirts. Shout out to Travis Peterson, sorry, at Punk Rock Paint for creating our logo and just designs overall.
Punk Rock Paint is gonna love that.
Yeah, no, sorry.
No, you're good. Any case, San Diego FC is also coming in. We'll confirm here with our guests for the 905, as well as SD Inter,
Maybe
who is
running a
coming
little
in.
late, but we are having SD Inter players joining in as well.
Mhm.
But yeah, so
Let's go ahead and move
you
into.
did send the link right to our other buddy.
I mean, if you want to look at it, you can call me out on it right here.
Yeah.
Go check. You can
call
check.
me out. No. You call me out all the time on the episode. So don't start.
You can go ahead and check.
Don't start.
You
You
go
call
ahead and
me
check.
out all the time.
You have access to it too.
You guys get a free look into Tony
Did
and
I
my
send it?
relationship.
Did I send the link?
I'm gonna check. I'm gonna fact check you right now.
Yeah, no, 100%. Go for it, please. No, this is fantastic. This is interesting. I love it. I'm gonna bring Abe. Or do you want to come in? Do you? Yeah. He's just saying, hey, I raised my hand. Put me in, coach.
Okay. So if the Liga MX Supporter Shield winner got into the Club World Cup, do you guys know who that would be as of right now?
As of right now,
just don't look it up. Don't look it up. Yes, this is what
I'm in it saying he's joining.
If I had to guess,
yeah.
I don't know. Pumas.
So.
Cruz Azul.
I mean, they have represented Mexico in international play. You know, the most successful at one given time in the Mexican League was Necaxa, who did beat Real Madrid and Manchester United in the Club World Cup.
While we're just, in the middle of our waiting for our next guest, still update everyone on our favorite soccer team, Chivas, in the Mexican Soccer League.
Not our favorite soccer team. Your favorite soccer team.
It's Tony's favorite soccer team too. So.
Your favorite soccer team.
All right, my favorite soccer team, whatever, you losers. We had Fernando Gago, Argentinian international star, as our head coach. Kept having rumors of him going to Boca Juniors, even though he was still under contract with Chivas.
Yeah.
he was asked if that was true, if he was going to be going to Boca Juniors. He told the media and told people, I'm under contract here. I haven't even had an offer.
Yeah.
3 days later, he quits the team and joins Boca Juniors. Allegedly stole 2 AC units from the apartment he was renting in Guadalajara and left Chivas
Without 2 AC units.
without
Yeah, right.
2 AC units and going to Boca Juniors this weekend. Chivas won 2-0 with the
Do you have
interim
that
head
lined
coach.
up?
I don't. I'm just talking about it. And
Yeah.
then, you sent the link. Fernando Gago lost his debut with Boca Juniors 3-0, and fans started attacking the players while they were heading to the tunnel, yelling them a bunch of things. And it was just a great time to be a Chivas supporter because your team won. Fernando Gago's team got destroyed, and the fans want to kill him already.
I mean, this is in a way adjacent to the world that San Diego FC is entering, because you're going to enter into contract negotiations, not maybe with head coaches that do these types of things, but with clubs that allow this types of behavior. Like, this is just South American football. This is just Mexico. Like, I'm not shocked that happened. I don't know if you guys remember. So speaking of Cruz Azul, a couple years ago, Rubén Omar Romano, a coach for Morelia, a coach for Cruz Azul, while he was a coach, do believe, or just around the time, was kidnapped for a very long time. Like, that was a huge story where he was kidnapped, and you just never know. But that's the reality, in a way that you're going to be playing against some of these teams in Conca Champions play Chivas as SDFC. So just incredible outlooks for what's to come after 2025. It's crazy how that's really coming up. We will be getting into some exclusive audio and sound from Mikey Varas in terms of what he thinks about the announcement that LA Galaxy will be the first opponent for STFC, as well as the first home game in MLS history here locally for San Diego, for a San Diego team. St. Louis being the opponent on March 1st, 2025. So get your tickets, I guess, for March 1st, 2025, as that's going to be the first match here for SDFC. And so, if I'm just trying to call an audible here, Abe.
I mean, if we want to, there's something about that I have a little detail on. So March 1st, first game, right?
Yeah.
Motocross. There's Monster Jam on like January 11th or something. Then there's motocross on January 18th, and it'll be 6 weeks from that day to that first game for San Diego FC. Like exactly 6 weeks. So they're gonna have 6 weeks to grow a pitch, or put the pitch down, or get rid of the dirt first of all, get rid of all the motorcycle stuff, put a new pitch on, let it sit there, grow, and then be good enough in time for March 1st. Do you guys think that's enough time? Do you think it's gonna rain?
This is why I love having that access to a certain somebody who was on the show in order to answer that. As you're mentioning, right? Like, we're talking about back-to-back events that obviously are going to have not the grass as you see there. Look at that, pristine. You got Grave Digger the week before. I'm not sure if 365 days after this that a field would be ready to go for professional soccer to everybody's liking. That wouldn't take a beating, but that's essentially what's going to be happening here, and that is usual. Like, Petco Park does turn the links at the park, like, it turned into a driving range for some time there. 131 days until the home opener for San Diego FC. And I haven't heard otherwise. We're actually gonna we have a kind of like a lead on some drama that's happening between, I don't want to say drama, situations that are occurring within the relationships between or the ratification of an official supporter group for STFC, because I don't know if you know this, Abe, to this day, currently to this moment, unless immediately told otherwise. This is actually per president of the union for SDFC, the supporter union of the independent supporter independent supporter group, that they are not officially ratified as the supporter group for SDFC. And so with that, obviously it's still a lot of layers that need to peel themselves. But right now, that's just the reality of things. That's not where, as of now, today, unless that thing rings, I'll keep an eye. Let me know from either side. But that's kind of the state of things. We can get into it a little bit later.
It's
Yes,
interesting too, because I was reading that Inter Miami's supporters group isn't technically ratified and like announced by the Independent Supporters Council either. So when Inter Miami won the supporters shield, technically they didn't win the supporters shield, they just won the MLS shield. So this is something that could happen. Like, supporters are technically, when you win the supporters shield, they get to also lift it up and be part of that, like be on the field when they get rewarded that. So not saying San Diego FC is going to win the supporters shield, but if that opportunity would come, the supporters would kind of just have to stay in the stands. Or if the wooden spoon too, isn't that a thing that they share? They send the wooden spoon to the other supporters groups.
Yeah, and that's a culture that is trying to be harvested, and kind of, the marketing side of things is definitely kind of taking over some aspects of this. Again, this is yes. This is also a video podcast, so you can check that out over on our YouTube channel, San Diego Football. But Abe, we're going to get to San Diego FC a little bit later. Some sound from head coach Mikey Varas on the first game that will happen as representative of San Diego in the MLS. But with that, we'll put you away, Abe. Here, take a break. I appreciate you. We're going to put ourselves away. But again, we're going to ramp it up back into our Sarape de San Diego, our community segment, where we talk to people in San Diego who make San Diego football what it is. And this is actually a new venture that I've been coming across, and I think it's going to be interesting to see different people coming out and doing their creative take on something that's been here, and something that any professional team is kind of finding out, that soccer's been here and it's the lifeblood of whatever it is anybody's trying to build. So with that, in the Sarape de San Diego in the community, we're going to welcome in from Urban Football is going to be Darius. Darius, how are you doing, my friend?
Good. Thanks for having me, you guys. Happy to be here.
Absolutely. And let me just tell you, right? Like the project Urban Football, which you can find over on Instagram. That's Urban Football SD. So that's Urban Football SD on Instagram. So this is your page, and you've been. I've seen you at some of the events with Chicano futsal, some Bridge Barcata action. Yeah. You've been getting out there, man. So what is the Urban Football SD all about?
Yeah, so it actually started as a capstone project from my graduate program at USC. And originally it was actually supposed to be an app so people could find these free communities easier. But I changed it to a newsletter instead, just so I could do more storytelling on the free community here in San Diego. So I want to really show people like who is coming out to these communities, what these people are like, what they do outside of soccer, and then why these communities are so strong, and why free soccer and free access to sports builds these strong communities.
That's fantastic, dude. And that's what I like, is that it's a grassroots effort. What is your background with soccer, if any, or just sports in San Diego? Like, what's your background in that area?
Yeah, so I grew up in San Diego. I'm a local. I live in Scripps Ranch. I've lived here all my life. And then I've played soccer since I was 4 years old. I went to college, played soccer there. And that's why I know what soccer can do for people, because my best friends are people that I've played soccer with in my whole life. So that's exactly what I'm trying to depict with Urban Football and everything that I'm doing with this page.
I love that. And just a quick blurb here on your page for Urban Football Ballers. Is a way to highlight players in the community. To begin with, you're looking for at least 5 players who play in free groups in San Diego. So you're going to follow these stories, and I see you've already highlighted some some individuals. So this is kind of like a long-term project as well.
Yeah, so the Urban Football Ballers is more of like a launching campaign just for urban football, so people can find out
Love that.
what I'm trying to do with this page. But it's essentially just like the quick snippets that I'll look into people with. But with urban football, once I start building an audience and getting people to subscribe to the newsletter, then I'm gonna like transition to longer format stories about people, like similar to what these videos depict. It's just going to be longer formats of that.
Yeah, no, and this is something that, you know, people like seeing. We were actually talking with some of our friends over at East Lake Soccer, and just like the simplicity of people just liking their story being told, or maybe seeing a highlight of themselves and just having that recorded and shared. Like, you know, that's a new thing in this day and age. But I'm glad somebody's out there just capturing it, and somebody who's local, like you said.
100%. It's important to highlight the community, right? And I mean, I believe others appreciate you just as much for doing this. And I mean, it's the work that we all do for the community that matters at the end of the day. So Darius, thank you so much for covering local soccer, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys.
No, 100%. And any way we can help, or just people can help in general, just to get the word out. But what are ways that people can get involved with this?
I'm always looking for people to just help with finding stories. So if that's like DMing me on Urban Football, or emailing me through my website, urbanfootballsd.com, just so I can like find the stories and get your story told. Or other ways too are just like helping me to keep up with the free groups that are popping up all around San Diego County, because I know there are a lot. Right now, I've only really been to Chicano futsal, Escondido futsal, and Chula Vista pickup. But I know there's so many more. So I'm just trying to get all of that into the newsletter and into like the storytelling features that I'm doing.
Love that, Darius. I really appreciate you going out there and getting involved and being part of it, man. Like, you know, you can go and take the video, take the footage, and you know, just run with it. But again, you're a local guy, and you're just kind of looking to do what we all do, and it's just have fun with it. And it looks like you're doing a good job with that. That's Urban Football SD. Darius, thank you for joining, and I'd love to hear more, and just kind of just grows. Just you're welcome to come on.
Awesome, man. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank
Thank
you, man.
you.
All right. Have a good
Thank
one,
you,
man.
Darius.
Thank you.
Boom, boom, boom. All right.
That's sick, man.
This
That's
is what I like about San Diego Punto Football. This is the things that we can hopefully put together, and this is what
100%. Yeah.
what's part of the grander idea with San Diego Punto Football. Somehow we convince
Like,
Abe
Tony,
to
here's
see
the
this.
thing, man. Like, soccer is just
just-
growing in San Diego.
yeah.
We both know it, and we've been at the start from it. So, to see other people come in and highlight the community, I mean, kind of like the group of people that we're gonna have coming up next with San Diego Internacional, right? UPSL side.
Pinche grupo, yeah.
They've been a team since 2012 years, 12 años de desmadre, right? So, I mean, there's a reason why we stayed in touch with San Diego Inter for so long. And it's just that community aspect, that family aspect that they have. And obviously they've gone through changes, but it's always fun covering them.
We've all
seeing
gone through changes.
Yeah, like it's so fun to see these guys play and just what they do. You guys know them. You guys love them. We're going to be introducing some of the captains for San Diego Internacional, along with head coach Matty Palpaltalk, making his return.
Let's bring Coach Matt.
We're gonna bring
Like
Matty.
he's the captain of the ship. He
100%.
he looked at Coach Keith Miller and was like, "I am the captain now," and just shoot. No, I'm kidding.
He said, "Someone
No,
come
just
wash his
I know he's
goddamn
like,
uniforms
he's like,
right now.
No.
Someone
Hey.
needs to come wash his uniforms right now."
Sick ass
Like,
uniforms that they
please.
actually
Oh,
debuted
they
with
have
this
dope
season. But
uniforms
without
now.
further ado, we're going to bring on head coach for San Diego Internacional UPSL side here. Your girlfriend's favorite soccer team. I guess your girlfriend's favorite podcast too. Why not? Fuck
Why
it.
not? Yeah.
Matt, Coach Matt. ¿Cómo
But we're gonna
estás?
get you in trouble right
Sorry,
now.
I mean, I don't know who with Coach Alex.
He doesn't watch.
I don't know why you guys said that. Like, yo, like if Keith comes after me, I'm
That
throwing
was
him
him.
straight
I
at you
didn't
guys.
That was
that.
all me.
I'm throwing him
Keith-
straight at you guys. I'm
I
throwing him straight
know,
at you
like
guys.
it's a safe space. Matt is a threatening, muscular man who really just is to be reckoned with. You don't want to be on the other side of Matt's wrath. We've seen that here to some offsides calls. This is why the team is so in line. But with that, we'll welcome on some of the players, Coach Matt. First, let's start with some defense, right? Olympique Lyonnais is the inspiration I take for saying Lions, but then it's Lions. Who do we have coming up with such a last name, Matt?
We got Eric Lyons coming up.
We got Eric Lyons. Eric, how are you, man?
Good. How are you guys?
No, I'm good, man. I'm good to see you on here. So Lions, but I pronounced it.
You're not
Lions.
French, are you?
Not French. I couldn't tell you the
No.
origin of it, but you're not the first person that pronounced it like that.
Okay, cool. It's
Every broadcast
no.
he keeps saying Eric Leon.
No, but then again, they have an Italian name attached to a French flag in Alessandro. Like, all right, make that make sense. Talk about Internacional. So with that said, we're also going to welcome some offensive firepower. He's actually the lead scorer for the UPSL side and in the league.
CEO of Rayleigh TV.
We're going to bring on Luke, the Juke Rayleigh. Luke,
what up? Can y'all
bro?
hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
Sure can.
Cool.
You're the pro here, dude.
Yeah, no,
Not gonna lie.
Hey, man.
You guys
I've
are
been
Hey, man.
doing some deep diving on your YouTube channel. Just keeping you busy, but not busy enough to keep you away from training for what's coming up for SD Internacional. Because, folks, gentlemen, Open Cup tournament is coming up. San Diego Internacional is going to participate in a tournament to potentially, go all the way. Who knows? But this can be for anybody, maybe coach, maybe whoever wants it. But SD Inter involved in Open Cup tournament play. What does this mean for the players, for you, for in general, just round robin this?
I guess I'll get started. For me, who's been a part of the team since 2019, I think it's something that Alex Senior's talked about, like getting us to that next step. But I don't think at the time we had that avenue. But I think ever since we won that championship a couple seasons ago by Keith Miller, by the way, shout out. It gave us that platform, and I think it's giving us that attention. Honestly, we were able to just take off from there and build from that, and we're here. We have the game on Saturday. Lions, Luke.
For me, a big thing for me, and I think I probably speak for Luke and a lot of the other guys on the team that are, some would say, are a little over the hill, but it's a chance to kind of say that we still got it. Especially making it past those first few rounds. Say you get into January or whatever that next big chunk of games is. It's kind of fun and be able to say oh yeah, played college or all these guys used to play pro, but being able to get back to those levels where you say I'm playing against top of the top, at least in San Diego again.
I'm just trying to play on the same field as Messi. I think that's everyone's dream right now. It's just to get to that level where we're playing against the best,
No, absolutely. And you guys have been doing this for a while too.
Tony, we're also going to be adding on Danny Strokas, another team captain, joining in.
Nah,
so we're going to add Danny over. Danny, how's it going, man?
We're good.
Yo, what up, guys?
That I love the diversity that us Latinos have opened up for truly making this national affair. And I just want to thank you for the opportunity 100%. to give these guys a chance. But in any case, Danny, you've also been part of this project for a long time. You play everywhere.
Yeah,
we've highlighted that. So for a chance for an Open Cup position for San Diego Internacional, what does that mean to you? And just being involved with local soccer and represent potentially San Diego in this way.
Yeah, the Open Cup thing is awesome for us. For me personally, it just gives me that little extra edge and motivation to stay in shape and get better and better, because we're about to play a set of teams that are probably a bit higher caliber than we've played in the past in the UPSL. So honestly, the UPSL level has maybe dropped a little bit this season. There's only in our opinion 2 or 3 really strong teams. So we're looking forward to better and better competition, and we've had a lot of fun. This summer we played Capo FC up from San Juan Capistrano. We played some other teams from up north and had a lot of fun playing high level soccer. So yeah, for me, I'm just excited to play as many great soccer teams as I can, and Open Cup gives us a chance to do that. So that's that's what we're looking forward to.
Yeah, and with this time frame of a quick turnaround, this Saturday is going to be the first matchup for this tournament here at Mission Bay High School, home, the fortress of Este Internacional. And so, what does it really mean to be representative potentially of and outlasted two professional teams, right? You got, I mean, three if you really want to count Albion, 1904, San Diego Loyal. Like, you saw those teams here in San Diego, and you now see the MLS coming in. Like, as somebody who's been involved before any of these teams come in and before any of these high flashy players, like, you guys are the real deal. You guys are getting out there on the UPSL level. Like, this is not easy soccer. Like, this is difficult to get in. So Coach Matt, like, break down the level of this, right? Like, I've seen some really good players. Former San Diego Loyal Jordan Chavez was on Eastlake Soccer League's team not too long ago, and then he went back into the professional fronts. But what's that level like?
I think from when I first joined the team, like, the level of this team is just skyrocketed. I think, like, when I first joined it, we were just a Sunday League team. Now you got guys who played D2, D1. Ronnie on our teams played in the USL out in Finland. Luke's been recently in the Czech Republic. He played at Dominican. But for me, like, as a coach, like, I just want to make sure that these guys are spending their Tuesday, Thursday nights with us, like, for free. So I want to make sure that if you're going to come out here, we're going to be playing. Like, we're going to play at a high level that everyone's happy with, and that keeps everybody accountable, and a level that's going to allow us to win. And I think so far, so good.
Let's go. Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. As we have it here, right on the actual ussoccer.com website, we have San Diego Internacional versus City SC San Diego, a round 2 for the qualifying rounds for the U.S. Open Cup. I mean, just seeing this on the website, Maddie, as a coach, what does it just mean to you to be able to get the team to such a game of this importance?
And then we'll hand it off to Eric, who was here the earliest, by the way. Shout out to you,
Eric. For me, it's kind of surreal. Like, I never thought, like, I'd be here with the team, like, leading them in the Open Cup. Like, I just thought, I always saw myself as a player, but then when the opportunity arose to be a head coach, and then I would, like, talk to my brother a lot about, like, what we could do with this team, like, what this platform the platform that the team can have is. We always thought it was just a dream, but now, like, we're in the Open Cup, and yeah, it's only the second qualifying round, but just to get here is already pretty cool.
I like that.
Yeah, and
then,
I think touched on something Maddie said, like the weird transition from the sort of Sunday league-ish kind of vibe to what we are now. Like, I actually came out to, like, a couple of trainings. I don't remember if someone invited me, came out, and it was like Sunday league, and to see, like, in the last 3 years, see the transition from, like, I didn't want to be there at, like, a training to now, like, I want to be there every night because Maddie, like, and even Keith when he was still here, holding everyone to that standard, and it's, like, competitive, and every Tuesday, Thursday night you get to, like, be a little kind of, like, violent again. Don't get that chance a lot, and now I can kind of envision like Danny going up against, who's it, Patty McNair or someone out, hopefully next spring.
Wouldn't that be
Wouldn't that has a chance to show he's still got it?
That would be wonderful.
Maddie's favorite player as a United fan.
Never heard of him.
Patty McNair, newest center back, one of 6. Actually, again, we talked about it right now. There's more people right now, and I'm going to include the two of us and myself. We have the same amount of people on this call that San Diego FC has official players. So I think we have a good chance right now, especially the level of Durant Farid. No, I'm kidding. I think I'm a better goalkeeper. But Luke, what does this signify anything to you? Is this just a pathway? This is a family aspect. It's home cooking. That's why we like Este Inter. It feels like home. It feels like pals. Feels like friends. But now there's a clear mission. Like it's getting real.
For sure. Yeah. I think that's kind of what brought me to this team and what keeps me on this team, you know, going out there every night or 2 days a week and training and enjoying it. Like just the love of the guys on this team and just, you know, it was a penalty, baby, Luis. But you know, it's just like that team atmosphere that we've created. A guy like Danny, a guy like Lyons, and all the guys that aren't here that, you know, it's become so much fun. Just having a high level, and not only a high level, but just good relationships with the guys when you show up, and you know, you genuinely have respect and admiration for a guy like, I mean, Brent's one of these guys. I wish he was here. I don't know where he's at, but guy that leaves training at 10:30, then goes home, wakes up at 3 a.m., has got 2 kids, and you just get to battle alongside a guy like that in this community and just just like learn from guys and be held to a high standard. And it's not easy, you know. It's like the challenge. It wasn't always a challenge in this league, and now it's like it feels like Lion said, it's become the real deal. You know, not every game is I mean, we kind of blown by some teams this year, but it's nice to have the Open Cup for that, because then it's like, all right, well, if we blow by the guys in our league sometimes, then we can get to see what we can do against some real teams. But you know, even the guys that aren't on our team, that used to be on our team, that kind of bounce back around, a guy like Jack at USD, top 10 team, college team in Division 1.
Yeah.
It's just like the level is gotten really, really fun to be a part of. So I'm just grateful every time I get to step out there, and just praying that my body allows me to last as long as Danny's has. That's really my main goal, actually. So as long as that happens, I'll be a happy guy.
And to think that MLS wants to get rid of Open Cup, right?
I mean,
wow.
I like Edwin's thing. Let's make a team to beat SDFC in Open Cup. I think it's already built, and it's led by one Matt Palatalk, also flanked by Danny. Danny, you've played everywhere on that field. Like, you're just a Swiss Army knife.
Striker, centerman.
Yeah.
When are you playing goalkeeper?
That's because the coach, man, he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's got to figure it out and play me in my best spot position. Yeah.
Palatalk out? No.
Hey, I played Danny in the 8 all season. I played him in his best position all season.
Dang.
No, yeah, that's definitely something I pride myself on for sure. I love knowing the game well enough to be able to bounce around and fill whatever spot we need on a given game. So I'll play it all, man.
But where do you like to play? Like, if you had the chance, like,
that's a center. That's a center mid through and through.
Yeah, exactly. I've been in match ear all season about playing box to box midfielder. I mean, I feel like my biggest gift is just my work ethic, and I love to run, and I can run for days. So I think playing the 8 really allows me to run as much as I can on the field.
That's awesome, man. I mean, that's good to know for the next game.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, we don't know. We will find out here this Saturday at 6 p.m. That's going to be at Mission Bay High School once again. Make sure that you go early. And this is an open invitation, right? This is San Diego Internacional. This is a San Diego team attached to it. San Diego, a team from San Diego representing an Open Cup play. For you supporters of SDFC, that supporters union, or anybody who wants to get some reps in, go support SD Internacional at Mission Bay High School this Saturday at 6 p.m. Take a drum, do practice your chants, Dago boys, or whoever you want. I'm pretty sure these guys won't mind.
Go support your girlfriend's
right?
soccer team, guys.
Like, honestly, every broadcast that we have a chance to say this is a capacity crowd, and the capacity crowd is there for one reason and one reason only. You gentlemen have alluded to him, and it's the absolute menace in the air for San Diego Internacional. One of the most unique defensive styles that I've ever seen, and work rate that's incredible. Where Mr. Brent Zuniga is joining on.
Hey, Brent.
What's going on?
So while we have you here, and we're gonna go ahead and get this going, because we have some SDFC. We do have some SDFC news to break, actually. But Brent, your involvement with San Diego Internacional, you know, you kind of came in and there was a gusto about you, and there was a point where sometimes it wasn't the best on the field, but your voice is always there. You're the first voice that everybody hears when Inter scores, gets scored on, or is involved anywhere. Like, you always have that positive vibe. You wear the captain's armband for a reason. So, Brent, why 3 a.m.
Tell him, Brent.
Well, in the semi-pro level that we're at, we still have to earn a living somehow. So, working in the aerospace industry, I work about 12-hour days. So as opposed to getting in late and getting off late, I would rather wake up early, get in, get the deed done, and go home early so I can be at home in the afternoon with my kids and my wife.
And I mean, you're a whole ass dude outside of being a really good soccer player, and sometimes your style just comes through in different ways. And anywhere the ball is in the air, Brent is there. Always to give his 100%. I think his teammates know that. Matt, you have somebody like Brent on your squad. What does it make you feel to have somebody who just literally is ready to just lay it on the line like that for not just your team but for the teammates?
I mean, he wears the captain's armband for a reason, right? I mean, as the coach and like as a former teammate of Brent's, it just gave me so much confidence knowing like Brent's there. So like if I mess up, like Brent's there to clean up after our mess.
I love that. Brent, Open Cup play. I mean, is that something that you've a boyhood dream or like what are your honest take about it, man?
No, yeah, this is actually going to be, I think, my third time participating in the qualifying round. So, back in the day, let's say 2012 and 2013, I was playing in the MPSL for San Diego Boca. So I actually did the qualifying rounds a couple times. So this will be my first time, and I also did it with Temecula FC back in 2015. So actually, this will be my fourth time getting to play in these rounds, and it's very fun because there's a couple of times where we made it all the way up until actually getting into Open Cup. I did that once, and then we made it a couple games out as well. So it's exciting because you have a real opportunity to do something pretty huge. So it'll be pretty cool.
So you think this? I mean, you've done that. Does this team have what it takes, Brent?
Absolutely. From top to bottom, from back to front, we go deep in every position. We're about 22 to 25 deep. We can field two starting lineups at any given moment. So this is a very deep team. I'm pretty sure it gives Maddie headaches because he's got to figure out who's going to put on the field every week. So sometimes it boils down to who can make practice a certain week, or sometimes it boils down to who he might be playing, who he feels is better suited against the opposition. But it's got to be every coach's best nightmare.
Has to be. And Eric, Danny, Luke, anything on your leader here, Brent, that people need to know about?
I was just gonna say, if people want to get a little more Brent, there's a little video on my channel of his heroic performance against Eastlake, and I don't say heroic lightly. I actually made two because Evan had a heroic performance. But like I said, I have so much respect for Brent and the other guys on our team, and it's just a pleasure to be on this team. It keeps me coming back every night, just being able to compete with these guys, and it's awesome having an opportunity like this in front of us.
Hell yeah. Eric,
I'd agree with Luke, but I don't know. There's been multiple guys. You get these, like, especially in the summers, you get these college kids come in sometimes, train with us, play the summer season. And I know a couple of times some of them have said they see this guy Brent, they hear he wakes up at 3 a.m., works all day, comes and he dominates, kicks him out of training for a week because he's tackling too hard or something like that. And then at the end of practice, he always brings it together, and they're like, "Damn, man, he's a good guy." It's just you don't want to disappoint Brent. He's performing at the highest level, has the highest standards for himself and for everyone else. But you just got to come out and like see the game. You got to see Brent live, and I mean, not even live. Go look at Luke's channel.
Yeah, man.
It's worth a watch.
I think the cool thing about Brent that I love the most is that the guy's played more soccer than any of us in his lifetime, but he's still like trying to improve his game and trying to get better every week. Like, he and I have talked a lot about things that I can improve, things that he can improve, and he like takes that feedback and he gets better. And it's shown. Like, the guy's actually gotten better in the later years of his career. So that's my favorite thing.
Oh, absolutely. And
That's,
I mean,
that's a squad right there.
yeah, that
Like,
is a
that's
squad,
right
and
there.
we appreciate you all making the time to make an appearance on our episode tonight. Is there anything else you guys would like to say to our viewers, to our listeners?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you guys, man, for coming out and live streaming our matches and making it available to all our friends and family that aren't able to make the games. And we watch them back ourselves to get better and improve. So you guys are a huge part of our mission as well. And I want to say thank you.
Indeed, for sure.
No, I appreciate that, man, and we do it for the love of the game, and for the love of, honestly, Coach Alex and Turdo and Barbie and everybody who just
Sorry,
kind of,
sometimes I miss some place.
it's something, it happens. And you know what? That's part of it. It's a family aspect at the end of the day, and it'd be really cool to see you guys move on and move forward, because it'd be. I'm curious. I'm curious. I believe
man.
Brent. Luke, you want to give a plug for your YouTube channel? Where can people find you?
Yeah, you know what? I don't know. It's kind of a little hobby that I do, but yeah, the YouTube channel is Rayleigh TV, and I've done some highlights for us. It's kind of hard to do every week, and sometimes the camera quality is rough or whatever, and people don't stream the games. But you know what? I will say though, thank you for having us. This is really cool. I really like what you guys are doing. It's inspiring seeing and being a part of, just watching this and like, oh my God, I'm about to go up on the show. My heart started racing. I was like, dude, I'm about to be on this. This is like a production here, but. Yeah, it's super cool. Like, even when I remember being in the Czech Republic watching our games and hearing your guys' announcement kept me engaged. Like, the announcers just being on the game, it's like watching it makes it feel like it's the real thing. So I appreciate you guys doing this. It's cool to be a part of. So thank you.
Yeah, we have Evan Stoll's dad who always tunes into the live stream. Like, that's one of the main staples that accompany us, and he has his thoughts and he has his opinions, and he's over in Wisconsin.
Hey man, we used to have Patrick Trimmers.
When Patrick,
parents
over
tuning in
Holland.
Yeah.
Like it was absolutely crazy what this team has done, and just that family aspect, man. Like we do it for a reason. Like we'll do it as much as we can. But yeah, check out,
man, I hope Patrick's still with his girlfriend.
Brent Zuniga dropped. Like, geez, that's the guy. And there he is.
Hey, don't forget, it was like 100 degrees out there. The other coach of the team wasn't even in the sun. He was just sitting down because it was too hot. And look at that. Look what these guys doing.
Just putting his body. That's Captain Brent right there.
There was a few block shots that I almost started crying. I was so emotionally invested in this game from the sidelines that
this one's dope. Oh yeah. What up? Oh, later.
Good vision moving forward. All right.
Hey, and to piggyback off what Danny said, like, I've played with Brent for maybe 3 seasons now, and the amount of growth and the amount that he's gotten better on the ball, like with the things that he, maybe wasn't known for in the past, but now as our team's gotten better, he's gotten better, and it's like, I just think that's the coolest thing. Like I said, it gives me that I see these older guys like Danny and Brent. It's like, if I'm moving like they are at their age, it gives me hope. It's like sometimes I feel old and I'm like, no, man, look at these guys. These guys are out here 100 degrees, giving everything they got. 120 minutes, not only 90. We went to overtime and he was still throwing his body on the line. So, yeah, it's a beautiful game.
I've seen some hard hits. Well, I mean, dished out by Brent, but also on the receiving end. And it's that moment of,
I think that was the one. I think that was the one that I started tearing up. Or that one. I don't know. I can't remember.
He just like puts it back together. Like he Terminators back into form and just says, fuck it, continue the match. Like that's what he does. And that's the mark of a true leader.
And all this to work baller. A 12-hour shift the next day.
Fucking game, bro. This game of soccer is the wildest thing, dude. Like it's incredible. But this Saturday you can find Brent Zuniga and company. At this point, like, you just tune in. Price of admission, just Brent. Bring the signs. Just bring the parade. And then you can also, I love this.
I love it. Yeah. Hey, I had to give people context because people are going to be like, why is Luke making a video on Brent without the context? People have to understand, like, there's a story here. At least that's what I felt. But you know what? To each their own.
I do like the macho man hand motion.
Oh, yeah. And like, truth be told, I've seriously watched that video like a good 15 to 20 times just to hear the introduction in the beginning. No, yeah, and just I think it's a big testament to our squad, because if you look at all the captains here, especially me, I never feel complacent. There's always Maddie's always bringing in new talent, and therefore we always have to do our part to make sure we're on top of our P's and Q's. So, however, we have to adapt our game to move forward and get better is what we have to do, because as the captains of the squad, you know, we might be captains now, but that means that we have to set the standard and continue to take our game to the next level if we want to continue to compete with these young stallions that the man is bringing out.
So it's your fault, Matt, for having such a good squad.
It is. It really is.
It comes down to it.
Yep.
And then you beat 6-0 to like 10 of the players you cut. Like, nice going, Matt. Way to go, Matt. Gosh.
There's a reason, right? All right. UPSL going well. But again, that's going to happen. 2 matches this weekend for SD Internacional, but there is an important one this Saturday at 6 p.m. Mission Bay High School. Check them out. Gentlemen, thank you for being a part of this. Let's do it again. You guys down?
Thank you all.
Down. Thanks.
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you. This has been a long community segment of El Zarape de San Diego.
It is time to now move on to, as Abe named it, SDFC stuff on the dock. If you guys don't know, Abe puts in all of the work.
He's like, why'd you call me out on that, bro?
On our docks for our lineup, SDFC stuff. I'm calling you out, Abe. I don't care.
All right. So
9:49 p.m. I'm tired. I'm cranky. I'm just kidding.
Have you
seen that? Have you seen that video?
No.
Of the kid that's like, I just got out of kindergarten. I'm tired. I'm cranky.
Oh, yes. I have laid eyes upon
because
that.
you're a Costco guy.
Bro, I bring the boom every day.
I hate you.
With that,
let's bring Abe back.
Let's bring her, because we do have. I always play it, and when it's not time, let's bring Abe back. And after the SDFC intro.
Nobody has guessed, huh?
Nobody's guessed, which is fine, and I'm okay with it.
What's your tone with Abe? Luis has returned to the chat.
Luis, you missed Abe. You know what? I don't know. You have some competition for #1 fan of Abe, because he came in and saved
100%
the day earlier today. So I can speak to Abe however I wish. However, I wish right now to speak to Abe in this way. Abe, SDFC stuff. SDFC stuff. As you mentioned, part of it, but
what else would you call it? It's stuff. It's not games. It's
get a
just
chance to look at Drew's message. Sorry,
just a lot of stuff.
It's a lot of stuff that we have to cover with San Diego FC, and I mean, it's good that we finally have stuff to cover, right? Gentlemen, they dropped the first couple games for SDFC. They haven't released a full schedule yet, but their first match is going to be on February 22nd or 23rd against LA Galaxy. A lot of people kind of wanted that LAFC rivalry to be the first game, but they're facing LA Galaxy. We get a San Diego LA derby. I mean, it's still beat LA for San Diego people, whether it's Galaxy or LAFC. This will be at Dignity Health Sports Park.
Yes.
Yeah. Against LA Galaxy. What are your thoughts on that? Obviously, people would love the first home season opener at Snapdragon, but that is not the case this season.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you can have 2 big events, why not do 2, right? Like if you have one inaugural match in San Diego, it's the first game in San Diego, then you have that one big event, right? But now you can say the first ever game is in LA, and this is a huge event because it marks the 30th franchise. It's coming together, blah, 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 blah. And then on March 1st, again, per information sourced through Kevin Baxter, SDFC will be playing in Snapdragon Stadium on March the 1st. That's going to be over, like I said, in Mission Valley against St. Louis. St. Louis City SC will be the first opponent in the stadium of Snapdragon for STFC. So you have 2 events now that you can,
if Josh
marketing-wise.
Yaro's still in the team by next season, he will be making a return to San Diego.
Or he may be making a return to San Diego in the expansion draft, because that is definitely the biggest thing that's coming up for San Diego FC as far as what's scheduled to happen. Again, per then official sources, MLS Soccer announced today that in order to celebrate their inaugural home match presented by the cable, it's going to be March 1st at 7:30. What?
Presented by the cable.
It is what it is. And yeah, so that's going to be coming in. Tickets are going to be going on sale whenever people are going to sell it out. Like, I think I already know that this is the reality. SDFC will be selling this out. But again, the biggest event that also will be held in San Diego is the draft, both the college draft and the expansion draft. That is indeed 2 different events that are going to be happening. Abe, what are your thoughts on the announcement that came down?
I think it's exciting. Galaxy as a first team is going to be definitely a tough challenge at this point. The Galaxy are second place. They had their decision day last weekend. They almost came away with the Supporters Shield. LAFC just barely edged them out. But it's crazy. I mean, LAFC 1, LA Galaxy 2. You're going to have not, I don't mean LA Galaxy 2 as in like USL, LA Galaxy. That's a whole nother thing. But LA Galaxy second place. And you're going to have to face them your first game of the season. It's going to be hard. Already thinking about gameplay. What's Chucky Lozano going to do? Is he going to score in his first match? Some historic things have happened for designated players at Dignity Health Source Park.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, think of Zlatan Ibrahimovic, his debut.
There's a statue of a noted San Diego coach outside of that stadium, too.
You mean redacted?
It's still there. I mean, I like it. Dignity Health Sports Park is cool. It's a nice little stadium. It's perfect for soccer. They have a cool little open grass area kind of by the scoreboard. I think it's a cool stadium. It's going to be a great opportunity for just San Diego FC fans to see MLS soccer and then see their team play for the first time.
Yeah, and that's the part that's exciting in terms of the overall project, right? Like, finally, San Diego has an MLS team. We've been hearing about this. Remember, I mean, it wasn't that long ago. We are actually talking to somebody who was saying that MLS is going to be coming to San Diego, and pseudo breaking the news of just what would incur, and that just seems about 105 pounds ago, at least for me.
Yeah.
That's how I measure time now. In any case, there is that expansion draft that we were talking about, but there is
we have the super draft and the expansion draft.
The super draft and the expansion draft. But again, who will be selected there? It's going to be interesting with the college players.
San Diego FC can definitely do different things. They can also trade the pick for something different, right?
Mhm.
So they can just definitely cut a draft with the top prospect from college. It's a lot of things that go behind it. I don't think the super draft is kind of like the way to success anymore in the MLS. It's a great opportunity for college players, but I think a lot of teams just kind of opt out of that and just go free agency wise and going for players from abroad, from Europe, anything like that. So I think the expansion draft is something that fans should be more on the lookout for, because that's where you are going to be getting players with MLS experience already, and that's what's going to be most of the base for your team. So keep an eye out on that as well. And I know, Tony, I think you also had audio, right, or video from
from head coach Mikey Varas. So Kick a Ball Pod will be over there. Shout out to Kick a Ball Pod, does great coverage of college soccer around town, and highlighting a lot of the great soccer that San Diego's having at a national level, just nationally recognized stuff happening. St. Louis game should be very interesting. Very good last season, I believe, with goalkeeper Burki. That is correct. They also had a good run in their inaugural season into the playoffs. Didn't yield silverware, but just a very interesting trajectory there. And also to note, I've also noted that there's a lot more traction, especially with our tweets and our engagement with MLS now. from St. Louis than San Diego. And that's just factual data as far as like, oh, okay, like there's more likes, retweets, engagement from St. Louis City SC fans right
They're
now.
both saints, both cities with saints. It's San Diego, Santo Diego, and then Saint.
Santo Diego,
Santo
arre.
Diego, Santo Diego.
Arre. Yes.
But yeah, so again, just to give a couple of dates to keep in mind here, right? So the preparation for the expansion draft of 2025, or for the 2025 season, that's going to be happening December 11th. So December 11th is the expansion draft. That's going to be where Mikey Varas, who we're going to hear from here in a bit, will start putting his team together. And I believe they have 5 players that they can pick up through this. And so with that, December 20th is a super draft that we were alluding to add to Marcus Invarsen and Chucky Lozano. Like I get it's Chucky, that's fine, but like they put Invarsen, they put McNair, they put Sverskov on the same poster to announce like, here's the inaugural game, when like I guarantee you 90% of people have no idea who anybody but Chucky is, other than Chucky is. I mean, with, you know, people in the know who Patty McNair is a little bit more, but
yeah, no, you're.
They don't have their other player on there. It's very interesting. In any case, let's hear from head coach Mikey Varas on for San Diego FC on the announcement that these two are going to be the inaugural games for his squad that he's going to be rolling out here pretty soon.
So unique, right? Because it's not only the season opener against Galaxy, but it's a historic first match for a club. So it's a club opening match, and then you play against LA Galaxy, which is obviously one of the historically big clubs in the league. On top of that, the proximity, it's 114 miles to Dignity Health. So it's definitely going to be a neighborhood rivalry as well. And ultimately, it's the first step in a journey that's going to be the beginning of this club. And then March 1st is against St. Louis, and another historic. It's going to be the first home game played for the club at Snapdragon, and I can imagine the energy is going to be amazing. On top of that, we play against a team that's just done expansion, and they had a really good expansion process with really high energy, high pressing, club-wide style of play. So I can imagine that's going to be an exciting game as well.
Two really big games against two big opponents, like you mentioned. What can fans expect out of those two?
Fans can expect entertaining football. They can expect a team that goes out there with a fighting spirit, understanding the responsibility we have of taking the first steps for the club in terms of its history. Like, all of us will know how important that moment is, and we'll take it really seriously. And at the same time, it's going to be a learning experience too, because it's going to be our first games as a club in the league. And a lot of time, it's going to be all of our players playing together for the first time. So there's going to be definitely a learning experience, but at the same time, there's going to be a fighting spirit, and there's going to be a lot of excitement for the players and the staff to make sure we start this history the right way.
For you personally, it's kind of booking, those two matches on the calendar for your first two big tests in MLS as, your role here as a head coach for San Diego FC. What are you looking forward to the most?
Looking forward to the whistle blowing and the ball starting to roll, because then it means that we're on our way. There will be a lot of work done in the preseason to get there, but there's no better night than game night. There's nothing better than packed stadiums with impassioned fans and two teams who are both doing their best to win the game. And that will be definitely a moment where I'll have goosebumps, and because it will mark the beginning of hopefully a long and successful journey.
How excited are you to, walk out on the field at Snapdragon Stadium March 1st and seeing, a full stadium, sold out crowd, first time our club, goes on that field?
Yeah, it will be the most impactful football moment of my life. And I can't wait to feel the energy of the fans and feel the energy of the players, and really just get there with a really prepared team, a team that's ready to give everything for the community.
Head coach for STFC, Mikey Varas, per
Abe, go ahead.
San
Abe,
Diego.
raising
I
your
have
hand.
something. What about this Cholos game that's supposed to start everything at the beginning of the year?
Not
That's
official.
this.
It's not an official MLS game.
Isn't I thought this is supposed to be the cool, friendly preseason. We're gonna take this seriously. We're gonna fill out Snapdragon. It's not that big a deal. It's gonna be like
Nope.
10,000
I'm
people
sure
there.
they'll
Like,
still fill out Snapdragon with that game, but I mean, but there's more hype to an official game, right? I mean, I think fans are looking forward to the first official MLS match played in San Diego ever. I think from what I got from there, it's just kind of like what he is expecting from the fan base, right? Saying the atmosphere is going to be amazing, it's going to be crazy. I do think Snapdragon will definitely be sold out, but I am worried about kind of like a certain section if it's going to be jam packed or not. I mean, just curious to see how that goes in general. And I mean, I am excited to see what Snapdragon could look like. We've seen it jam packed before. We've seen what the party atmosphere looks like at Snapdragon, and it is fun. It is cool. It is entertaining, and I also want to see if it is entertaining football, like he mentioned. You know, it's easy to say that, but you still only have 6 players. So I mean, based on who you get, you still don't know who you're going to get in your team on the draft. So I mean, you have to be careful and pick players that are going to be making sure that you are playing entertaining football.
Yeah, making an impact, and yeah, there's the Coachella Valley Invitational.
There's preseason
there
happening
is
before as well.
there is that. What I will say is that MLS is very strict and stringent, and it's very strict on the amount of preseason and the amount of preseason games that a team is allowed to have. And so across the board, every team has to have the same window of preseason, obviously. So the moment where San Diego FC will officially start operating, and the moment where SDFC will officially just kind of, become official. I don't know. Like, there's so many just things that haven't happened. It's still a club in theory. Like,
yeah, we still can't call it inaugural. I hate when people say inaugural. It's
For
not
the first
inaugural
one?
until 1 year passes and you do it again. Like,
Yeah.
this is just the first ever version of it. Everything can fall apart. You never know what could happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people are excited in it. I like to, for me, again, I do a lot of this for me, like very, very transparent. But in the knowing and fact finding of me, I want to know like what people actually think. And we're gonna start going out and talking to different people in San Diego and just kind of getting their takes on SDFC. Because it's happening now. Like, it doesn't feel like a conversation that conversations are different than they probably were a year ago. Because a year ago, and SDFC actually pointed out the other day, was the celebration of the brand reveal. Like, that was the big thing. That was a big brand reveal. They utilized that footage for the marketing aspect of it, and it was great. Like, the visuals were all right. To this day, the question was there, like, has SDFC done a good or poor job in the last year gearing up for the inaugural season, right? Like, it's a very broad question, and you can kind of answer however you want. You have some usual friends, some usual suspects in there, just kind of having their personal opinion on there, which is equally as valid and all that. But you also kind of see that there's a lot of people who are going back into saying, hey, like, this team is still not doing it for me in terms of the brand, in terms of, and they'll give the credit, like community stuff, and I've given the credit. Like, Grown Ball Tour has been great. The community has really come out in different ways. But again, that's giving a lot of credit to the community for coming out and taking advantage of the platform that the MLS is coming out. Everybody's going to get better because of the MLS being in San Diego in a soccer sense. Like, it's the lens is bigger, the scope is bigger. But Abe, do you feel like does it feel like we're February away from an MLS team?
No, definitely doesn't. It's weird. They only have 6 players. Technically, their preseason is gonna start in January, and like they started construction on the like training facility just
Mhm.
last year. Like it was November, I think, actually. Yeah, because it was the NWSL Championship that
Yeah.
week as well when they had the groundbreaking. So it's crazy. They're gonna have to have that all built up already and just barreling towards it. It's nuts. Something random came up in my head too. That Chrome Ball, there's got to be something in it, right? They're gonna open it up at like their opening first game ever. There's something in that Chrome Ball, right?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think, Chiva, that there may be a way to get into it?
The jersey,
Perhaps
jersey.
a
They
jersey?
open it and it's their jersey in there.
No.
Okay.
Oh, the jersey. That's
I thought that was what you were putting
I
down.
mean, they
Abe.
are revealing their jersey late December, right?
They're
what has been
revealing a little,
announced.
yeah. So it'll be
Late
around
December.
that time. They have released some images of that.
I don't know how much of your San Diego history you guys know, but there
Oh.
was once like a 20-minute pregame ceremony for the San Diego Chicken rehatching.
Oh, 100%.
Before a
Yeah.
Padres game.
Yeah.
At Qualcomm Stadium. In that Mission
Absolutely.
Valley site, could we potentially see the San Diego Chicken return out of the Chrome Ball?
It's been an egg this entire time. It's
was
been a
an egg.
chrome egg. And you know what, Abe? Like, as ridiculous as that may sound, and what the following thing that's coming out of my mouth may sound, that's great.
I just came up with an
holy
amazing
shit.
idea. They should do that.
FDFC, Abe and Tony just gave you guys Abe in particular just gave you $1 million idea, but you better use it to make San Diego proud.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean,
and there's
so much. There's so much still to happen.
There is plans for the Chrome Ball itself, and just at later times. And there's actually ways that we were going to get involved with that, just as a community, as a labor of community service for us, non-judge mandated for that. SDFC won't use Abe's idea. It's too genius. I mean, you never know, but you heard it here first. Abe is really coming through today. 247.
Yeah,
Mark
no,
Mark
Abe-
247
that's
as
Abe's episode.
As Abe's recoming in, rehatching in a sense.
Taking over.
I told you, first thing I told you is like, man, you look older today. Like something's
Might as
there's a
well.
pep in your step, Mr. Cepeda. And I'm okay with that.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
I
me
like
too.
this. All right.
He's been hanging out with me. That's why.
I did
Yeah,
some
you
adult
guys-
stuff today. I got a smog check. I was driving
Ooh,
around.
That's some adult shit.
That is some
That's
adult
some
shit.
adult shit right there.
Did you go to Smog Express over in
PB?
PB?
Went
let them
to
know that,
PB
you know,
European Imports and checked out some stuff. Maybe.
Smog Express for your smog checks. Just letting you know.
Yeah, so Chrome Ball is still on the way. National City is still on there. Make sure to. I'm curious what they'll do there.
They still got National City, IB.
Yes.
A bunch still.
Yes. All right. So we're working to get a little bit more from Mikey Varas and Tyler Heaps as the weeks come by. We've reached out to the club and working on something there. Any transfer rumors? Tony, Aba, and Chiva.
Sergio
Aba, Chiva,
Ramos is
and
back
Aba.
on the team. No, I'm just kidding.
So
you know what?
Yeah.
Sorry, you go ahead. You have some things for real. I could tell.
I'm controlling Tony right now. And like,
no, Messi to SD is not going to happen. And it's interesting.
especially now with the Club World Cup
Yeah,
coming.
no, it's a golden goose right there. They might just award the net. Messi comes over to STFC.
They switch
Gianni
it over.
Fartino's like,
Oh wait.
oh yeah, there's one more spot. Here you go,
Expansion
STFC.
Club.
Yay! Ronaldo comes into Inter Miami. Anyway,
Ronaldo can't play in the US.
the construction of the team is going to be very much focused on who they end up getting on the expansion draft, and really through that is going to dictate what other priorities to take care of. But for now, I can safely say, like, I mean, Chucky Lozano, that's the marquee, like, for sure. Like, if you're expecting a couple of other people about it, I mean, you guys don't seem excited about SDFC.
I think it's because we know so much about what's going on,
tranquilo, like just
and I mean, just in general of how things go.
No,
that there should be more by now. That's
I
the thing.
think
There should be more players by now. There should be, I feel like, a lot more that the fans need to be aware of, and just in general, kind of like be more open on what's going on, and just in general with players. And I don't know, it's tricky, but I feel like there's a lot more that could be out there.
If the club, and I'm just speaking in general sense, if the club is happy with where the club is today, October, whatever the fuck, 2024, then sure. But if the supporters in general, if it's just STFC community is happy with where they're at, so be it. I'm nobody to really get in the way of that, and I would love to hear from people if there's things that they'd like to see from the club and STFC and the community as well. But I don't think, I personally think that it could be better on every front.
Yeah.
With the amount of stuff soccer wise that happens in San Diego FC, the community, the love, the support should already be in a better place, to where it's not even a question what's going to happen on that first home game on March 1st. Like, it's not even a question where, yeah, it's going to be full of supporters, but full of supporters, full of a section, a north end that's jam packed with chants, singing, and like again, an aspect here that we can definitely kind of get into now, as well as the supporters that you're mentioning, Chiva, is that right now there is no official supporters union. There's no official supporters anything that is recognized by the club, as you're mentioning, Abe. Like Miami is also kind of in a weird, funky place with that, and there's precedent, but I don't think these are conversations that should be happening like weeks. I'm not even gonna say months. Like, it's weeks before this needs to start hitting the ground running. That's not my conversation to have. There's supporters union for that. There's positions for that. I do believe that the season ticket pricing for supporters should be coming out soon. Like, that's just a reality. If not soon, then when? Like,
that's not already out yet. I thought that, like, they're selling plenty of season tickets around like the whole stadium. I would have thought that the supporters was already done.
You would have thought. You're absolutely right, Abe.
What do you mean? What do you mean when the clubs, when you say the club doesn't recognize them?
So officially ratified in terms of, that's a great question, Esteban. So currently, the San Diego Independent Supporters Union is, should in theory be that an independent entity that works alongside San Diego FC and create a mutual partnership, right? Like, hey, you guys are awesome. You guys are the diehard supporters. We're going to go ahead and have a certain amount of seats reserved for you, potentially at a different pricing, a little bit more accessible pricing, because again, these are the rabid diehards. Every day you need these people, the lifeblood, jumping up and down, making the chants, really fighting in hopefully peaceful ways against the other supporter groups that are going to be coming in. I'm thinking of, again, LA Galaxy, LAFC, the 3252. Like, these are realities. You saw it at Snapdragon with America supporters locally, and again, we brought them to the Sirens. Like, yeah, no, they were good. They were great out there. And so, is that going to be a situation that SDFC will find themselves in? Are they comfortable with that at this point? It's still a ticket sold, but in order to go ahead and be seen as a supporters union, the club has to say, yes, you're the one. Like, you are the supporters union that we officially recognize. Right now, there's a lot of like yes, like very cordial talk, but officially speaking, like literally black and white, a vote has to be taken, approval needs to happen. I believe ownership has to approve this motion. Like, again, it's very, very board member. It's very transactional. Like it's literally like a business meeting where this has to happen. While they can be friendly, they can say and support on social media and say, hey, Dago boys, hey, this person, hey, the supporters union. They can go ahead and do that. But as of right now, there is not an official recognized entity at all. However, the Independent Supporters Union actually has been having on the agenda, on the calendar, several days in which a meeting is supposed to happen with ownership to be recognized. That has been moved, pushed, and just kind of moved along calendar-wise to this day. And again, let me check my handy dandy telephonic device. That meeting has not been had or has not been rescheduled officially. I would love to go ahead and get that, but this is one part of a bigger piece of this machine that's already running. It's too late. It's already going to go. It's going to happen with or without you. If that means that you're going to have a supporter section that's smaller than you thought, you're still going to sell those seats. Like that's what happens, right? If you have a capacity for 3,000 fans, but you only have 1,500 fans, well, the smart thing to do was say, hey, well, you only have this many people in your union. It doesn't make sense to just have those empty seats. We're going to open them up. Still going to be cheap for people. Go ahead and join. Unfortunately, I'm to a point where I don't care.
We'll see
The
what
headaches that some people are going through and just hoops is very interesting. There's a disconnect in general. Again, going off of social media and just some of the interactions that I have with some of my soccer friends that are not MLS fans, but are looking forward to having a team. They're having Chucky Lozano. They just see Chucky Lozano. Oh, see, like 100%. Like I want to see that. I want to be there. But there's going to be there's going to be a sold out stadium March 1st in Mission Valley. Period.
Yeah,
The following
that's gonna happen.
will be sold out as well. Period. Sustainability. Is this long term? We'll see what wave on the other side kind of goes through next year with a terrible season. And what that's going to mean in the stands. There's a lot of season ticket support, but being withdrawn for various reasons for San Diego Wave. But I mean, it's a crucial point in time for SDFC to really kind of get it going. And here's the thing, because the machine is going, it's going to be here incredibly soon, and it's already going to be like a pop-up house where it's like, oh, boom, it's already built. Like, oh, we're going to have players here. Boom, it's already built. Preseason going. Mikey Vadas is going to go ahead and say, okay, this guy. They have this fighting spirit that I keep promising everybody about, and they're going to move forward and represent San Diego in the best way they can.
4 months, man.
That's incredibly quick.
4 months.
I don't know. But I hope that answered the question in a way, like with as much yet little detail as I can give. And again, this is we were privy to this information, and I really hope that it gets fixed up. Flow is trash. Like the origins are,
some people are happy, some people are not too happy. And that's just what it's always going to be. That is what you get with a soccer team.
Do you think Tyler Heap's going to be right after sporting director? We'll see. Again, it's a very ambitious plan to have such a young maverick, just a data-driven, especially in the world of soccer. But if it
definitely
works,
knows his shit.
He knows his shit. He 100% does.
So it is going to be interesting to see what Tyler Heaps does for sure. But yeah, gentlemen, that's a lot of.
There was a lot of us, and right before we go, actually, I got it. Because we do have just the bow tie. This one of the 6 players is actually a goalkeeper, former San Diego Loyal, former Orange County SC, current FC Norseland player, Duran Free, who does have his own segment on the show called Duran Watch. I will definitely have to update that with more highlights because Duran Free did get some action over this weekend over with FC Norseland, and
it was the youth national team.
Yeah, the under 19.
Under 19. What am I talking about? Yes,
U.S. youth national team.
It's late.
Beating Sweden and Japan over in Spain. Got the start in both games, right? I believe.
Yes, he did.
So I mean, you have an MLS goalkeeper in the under 19. How could you not get the starts, right?
I mean, you'd hope, right? Something's working.
Shout out to the referee, just making things happen. And I mean, there's talented youth in San Diego and San Diego natives, kind of like Melanie Barcenas, just over in the under 17 World Cup. And I mean, the future is very bright when it comes to San Diego soccer and players that represent San Diego as well. So I mean, big shout out to the referee.
That's our guy. All right. I'm trying to find, where was it? Oh, well.
I don't know what you're trying to find. We told you all at the beginning, it's a jam-packed show. And again,
it really was.
We do want to wrap this up with letting you all know again, for those of you who are just joining in, we do have our first wave of pre-orders for t-shirts now available on our website. You can definitely check it out at sandiego.futbol/cantina. Definitely check it out. Those contributions definitely help us out to keep the show running. You can check out the t-shirt there, available of sizes extra small to triple XL. Definitely check it out at sandiego.futbol/cantina.
Absolutely. It's going to help us out tremendously. People have been asking, and I really hope that people get out there. It's the first piece of merch that we have since those hats.
Yeah.
Those hats are rare. I saw one the other day.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, that's a relic.
Yep.
This has been a fun episode. Abe, looking for your handy dandy notebook.
My sticker. That counts as merch, right?
It sure does.
It sure does. Abe, you can find him at Abe_Cepeda.
You also get 10 extra entries to our SDFC home jersey giveaway.
He debuted with Craig Elston, Annie Nelson the other day.
Sure did.
Check it out. Dave. Absolutely killing it as far as
PBS. That was pretty cool too.
We were in
the PBS midday.
We're everywhere.
Yeah. San Diego Punto Football is getting it done, man. And
San Diego's #1.
We do this for the love of the game, for the love of the city, for the love of the sport, for the love of anything. Let's go ahead and do it.
For the shirt. That'd be pretty cool.
I'll tape one on.
Yeah.
Everybody, have a good night.
Have a good night. Thank you for everyone that stuck the whole way through. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys.
Here we go.